led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane, Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys?
Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. On Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them.
With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation.
Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
This is the Big O Show!
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Friday Pablo in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct because nobody do it.
The views and statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. OK Coin is one of the largest fiat to crypto trading platforms in the world. Founded in 2013, OK Coin offers advanced features for crypto beginners and high-volume traders alike, enabling users in 184 countries worldwide. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Welcome aboard to the program, boys and girls. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you're feeling good on a beautiful Monday. Yes, we are here. We're still in Vegas, by the way. I'll be in Vegas for a couple more days. My man Sean is actually headed back to Vegas today. So he will be headed over to the South Florida area tomorrow. So we will be, well, he'll get there tomorrow because he leaves tonight. And as you know, there's a time change and a 5-hour travel. I think it's a little shorter, Sean, on the way back, if I'm correct. I think so. I think we have a half-hour shorter trip on the way back. So it's not so bad as it is. Anyway, plenty of things to talk about today on the program. As you all know, we had the draft over the weekend. Sean and I recovered from this draft yesterday. We actually went to the Hoover Dam because he's never been to Vegas. So we went to the Hoover Dam. We went over to the west side of the the Grand Canyon, which is about 60 miles out of Vegas. What else? We got caught in traffic with a car on fire. What other? We went to a nice barbecue place yesterday. The hell's the name of that place in Boulder City? That was a nice place. Forgot the name of it, but we kind of tuned out of everything yesterday, and after 3 days of grinding away on the show, we took a little bit of a break yesterday and relaxed a little bit and enjoyed the scenery. I mean, I've seen most of it, but obviously for my man, he had never been here, so it was imperative to give him a little bit of a tour of some of those areas since he's here for a couple of days. So we got a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, we've the Dolphins wrapping up their draft, and also the street free agents or the undrafted free agents or the other ones that we're also going to talk about today. The Miami Heat, they are in action tonight, starting their series against the stinking Sixers. Tomorrow, the Panthers will start their first round of their playoffs, and wow, what an important moment for the Panther organization, because this is a moment where they've got to now match the regular season that they've produced by making one hell of a run into the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to that and really excited for that organization, because it's kind of the moment they get to cross that threshold and really do something monumental for their organization. Something the Dolphins did early on in their organization and winning the championships and even doing the perfect season and all of that. The Marlins also did it early in their existence, being able to cross that threshold in 97 and then again in 2003. And we've seen the Heat also obviously cross that threshold in 2006 with Wade, and then obviously with the Big Three. And who knows what's in store right now for them. I mean, they easily could get to the finals again this year. Things are setting up for them. They should win this series against the Sixers. Whether they were healthy or not, they were the better team. But a healthy Sixer team would have been hard to beat, but they should beat them. But now the way the way things are set up with Embiid hurt and out now the first couple of games, you need to take care of business against these guys. So this is a good moment for the Panther organization, because this is where I'm about to sneeze. This is where trying to hold it in. This is where you get an opportunity to kind of establish yourself and not do something that is memorable, but kind of a novelty in a way. Hey, remember 96 when they went? And it's, you never take that serious because it's flukish. That's how you look at it. Oh, the year of the rat, everything went our way. We got there, but we really weren't that good. That's why Colorado, blanked us 4-0 and all that kind of stuff. And it's all true. You know, it was just a team that got on one hell of a run and ended up in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's not because they were really the second best team in the league and they belong there. They probably weren't. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of those things that's a novelty that's tied to them. Nothing of substance. They have nothing of substance. And so this is your opportunity now to add something to the trophy case that is of substance. So I'm really excited about the Panthers this offseason because they really need to have a successful run and kind of start to really establish hockey in this town. It'd be really, really good because you've gotten to the point where you've teased people and you've enticed them a little bit and they've gone on board, but then they quickly get off right away. You know, look at the Dolphins. The Dolphins are an amazing example of early success has helped you survive your last 25 years of incompetence. And it's crazy to think that. But your first 30 years with Shula, you were so good that you've established so much goodwill during that time that people hang on like myself, and we hang on for that next time and the next time. And we've got, JT and Zach, and we get Ricky, and then we get, Saban, and we get Parcells, and we get Jimmy, and we kind of get excited about things. And now I'm excited about Tua and all of that. And you kind of ride that wave from the past. And the Heat has built themselves up a ton of goodwill that even when they have down seasons, we still talk about them. People still go to the games. They still love the Heat. And that's because they've established the same thing the Miami Dolphins did years ago. And so now, the Marlins have never established that. They had that success, but they never really had long-term success. They only had scattered success, 2 separate years where they had success, but no other years they were going to the playoffs and posting multiple winning seasons and all that kind of stuff. That wasn't the norm for them. That has never been the norm for the Marlins. So they've never been able to establish that kind of goodwill like the Dolphins have and now the Heat have. So now it's up to the Panthers to do that now. Not just have a good run this year, but have many good runs for several years to kind of really build up hockey and build up the fan base. Marlins are going to have to do that too. That's how it goes in this town. The blueprint was set up by the Dolphins. The Heat has followed that blueprint, and now they can enjoy their success even on down years. They will get the trust of the community. That's where the Panthers and the Marlins are at right now. The Panthers are way ahead of the Marlins, obviously, and this is their chance now to do this over the next couple of years. I hope they do it. I'm excited for them starting tomorrow. So looking forward to it. We'll talk about it. We'll get George Richards on tomorrow. We got a loaded show for you. Ira Winderman is set to join us at 10:30. Alan Poupar will stop by at 11:30. Marcel Louis-Jacques will stop by at 12:30. Loaded show for you today. Got a bunch of guests for you. So we've got a lot of things to talk about. Dolphins, listen, I'm going to start putting out some feelers on the undrafted free agents for some of my guys around the league. See if I can get any nuggets for any of these guys out there overall. And I'll pass that on, whether it's today, tomorrow, over the next couple of days. I wanted to wait to see till we got like the complete list. Plus, I told you yesterday, I'm out, man. I was out. I was in. Yesterday was one of those days where I just wanted to unwind. When you've done 20 hours of broadcasting in 3 days, it's one of those things. And I don't even have my wife's concoction that you guys helped me create, the honey and lime, which always really helps out with the throat. I really needed that during the 20-hour run, I got to tell you. But yesterday was good to rest and relax and not have to talk for several hours. But I would be remiss if I did not mention thanks to everyone that showed up. Man, a lot of people showed up over 3 days, and that was awesome. First 2 days, We had some pretty good groups that hung out with us. The third day was a little rough. We only had a few people, but we had several people come in and out and visit. So that was actually really, really cool. But those of you that took the time to come by and visit us at Tommy Rockers, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really enjoyed meeting a lot of you out there. That was awesome. That was really, 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 really cool. I see Steve Chapman is in the house. Jamie Zorrilla. Yes, I would call it a successful draft overall, considering how short it was in picks. I think it was. Once you got that Georgia linebacker, for me, that was something that was well needed. Remember to smash the like button. Jamie reminds everybody, please, always. Greater Good is in. Franklin Valverde, Rich V, Willie Molina, Gus 1388. Steve, those undrafted guys, especially the kid from Oregon, I think they're going to be special. We'll see. You never know with those undrafted guys. You end up getting a good player. You end up getting a really key role player. You never know, man. Don't underestimate it. Just because you don't know the names doesn't mean that the guy's not a player. You know, like the Easy-E kid, Uzakanma. That's a guy that after watching the tape and watching the highlights, I was like, okay, now I understand why they drafted him. I get it. Let's see. Storm says short tackler with quickness and sideline to sideline speed that can't be taught. Exactly what Miami needed at linebacker. Now they just need a center in this run. Well, maybe they don't need a center. We don't know that. They're the ones that know offensive line more than we do. So I'll go by whatever they think. Michael Austin is here, he says. Paul Cupertino is also here. Tony Rizzi. Sid is in. Lisa Rose is in. Barry Schaubin is in. Great to meet you on Saturday. Thank you, Barry. Nice to meet you. Fabian Festa. 7 a.m. out there. Good morning. Oh, yeah, I know. Trust me. We know. Nick, NorCal in. Great seeing you in Vegas. Big O, wish I had more time down there. Yeah, dude. Yeah, NorCal showed up like at the end of the day when we were already wrapped up and leaving. And I was so worn out. So burned out. I'm burned out from the 3 days. I will tell you, it's a lot. It's a lot. Nickel Tie Roll is in. Thank you, sir, for the love. Robin G 6193. Thank you for coming out. Adam Outdoor Bushcraft is in. Mike Honcho 1012 checking in from Houston. He's ready for the season. Brandon Flood, Jason Thomas, and HM. Thank you all out there chiming in on the super chat, or the chat board, that is. I appreciate all of you out there. For those of you that don't know, Channing Tyndall was the Tyndall. Why is it? I don't know why I am stuck with Tyndall. When I broke the news, I put Tyndall and everything. I don't know where I'm getting Tyndall. Why do I have a tendency of saying Tyndall with Tyndall? I don't know. Where am I getting it? I was thinking about it, and am I thinking of what's the that running back from USC? Damn, send the guy's name because I don't know why I keep confusing his name. Tyndall. Okay, Lendale White. Yeah, Tyndall and Tyndale, Lendale. I don't know. It's just one of those. Anyways, Channing Tyndall went in the 3rd round. And if you were watching our show, by the way, on Friday, you got the breaking news on our show because obviously we broke it before anybody in the country that they ended up selecting the Georgia linebacker. And I thought it was a terrific pick. Whether him or Leo Chanel, if you get any of those guys, I would have been, happy as hell with all of that. They took Texas Tech wide receiver Eric Uzukanma in the 4th round. Then in the 7th round, they took 2 guys. Cameron Good, the Cal defensive end, the outside linebacker, and Skylar Thompson, the K-State QB. And at first I was like, wow, QB. But then you think about it, Teddy Bridgewater is only on a 1-year contract. So eventually you've got to try to develop a backup. You know what I mean? And in a perfect world, you'd like to have a veteran, but Tua's been in the league a couple years now. And then this year with Teddy, that should help him out a little bit more educationally. And by going into year 4, he should be pretty much a seasoned veteran at that point and should be ready to go. So maybe you can now start to develop a young guy behind him that maybe you can do some other things, wildcat stuff and things like that. Let him take the punishment. So I can kind of understand why you would do something like that. It makes a lot of sense in that way. Because at first I was like, it doesn't make sense. Go get another position. But here's the thing. Here's what you got to remember now. 7th round picks, 6th round picks, 7th round picks, and undrafted free agents, same thing. There's no difference in any of those players. So all these guys that they got, like the D lineman, let's go the O lineman, the Arizona State Kellen Diesch, the Minnesota offensive tackle guard Blaze Andrews, and Arkansas guard center Ty Clary. Any of those guys could be just as good as the 6th or 7th round pick that was selected in the NFL draft, or better. You never know. Some of these guys got higher guarantees from the Dolphins. Defensive lineman DeAndre Johnson from UM. Ben Still from Nebraska. He's a D tackle and a D end. Andre Carney, Illinois, offensive outside linebacker, defensive end. And Jordan Williams, defensive tackle out of Clemson. You never know. You might get yourself a rotational player out of here. They've been able to find Zach Sealer off the street, right? And he helped out. They found Nick Needham off the street. These guys are the same thing. We don't know. Tanner Connor, Idaho State wide receiver, and Braylon Sanders out of Mississippi State, 2 receivers also that they signed, undrafted free agents. Cater Kahu, Texas A&M Commerce. Vernon McKinley III from Oregon, safety. The Cater kid is a corner. And Elijah Hamilton, another safety out of Louisiana Tech. Don't know. We'll see. Might get a returner out of there. Might get a flyer out of there. Running backs, Zaquandre White out of South Carolina. And they picked up the punter from FIU, Tommy Heatherly, and he'll compete against Thomas Morstead. I saw the piece from, I want to say it was the boys in Channel 7. They did a piece on the FIU punter. And it was a cool piece. And, you kind of like were rooting for the kid. So I'm glad that the Dolphins are giving him a shot. I don't know if he'll be able to beat out Morstead, but, whatever. At least he gets an opportunity. And that's all we can ever ask for in life. But listen, in the end, don't get too high, too low about any of these draft picks. Any of these undrafted free agents. Just go with an open mind to camp is what you do. Because I still remember the day that Jimmy Johnson signs a guy by the name of Rondé Gadsden. And we're looking at each other going, the Arena League? Whatever. First play in practice, Rondé Gadsden catches a touchdown in the corner of the end zone. Skies up in the air, catches the ball, and lands inbound. Everyone was like, who's that kid? We started writing him down. Because from that moment on, Rondé made an impact. Rondé made a name, and then Rondé became a badass. So, Rondé was always a badass. We just got to find out that he was a badass. But, that's my point. Never underestimate any of these cats that come in, because you never know, they might end up becoming Mark Dixon. And you're like, CFL? At least with Cam Wake, Miami was battling 8 other teams for his services. I'm not sure if any of you remember that, but when Cam Wake came out of the CFL,
he came out with one glorious year. I don't know how many sacks he had, something stupid, 17, 18 sacks or something. I don't know what it was. It was a ridiculous number. And so like 9 teams wanted him. Miami was one of them. So he came with some hype. Mark Dixon came with no hype. Oronde Gadsden came with no hype. So it happens. You find the guys and, you know, a Salvon Ahmed that you pick up out of nowhere. And not that I think he's even going to stick on this roster, but he made a little name for himself. And that's kind of what you want. And you're going to find those guys often, like Nick Needham. And Nick started off terrible. Remember that? First couple of weeks watching Nick. Hell, I was joking. We don't need to see him anymore. That was my line for him. And kid turned into a player. You know, so never underestimate these undrafted cats. Or what you shouldn't do is cast them aside, or you shouldn't really build them up. You leave an open mind and say, all right, let's see what they got. Because you never know. Then all of a sudden you get a Siler and you're like, holy crap, where did you find this guy? And that's the kind of stuff that's really cool in football or in any sport. I mean, we see it right now with Caleb Martin, right? Caleb's that guy too. Caleb, Yurtseven, Udonis Haslam. You know, these are guys you get off the scrap heap. They're undrafted. They're unwanted. They're bouncing around. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those deals where it's kind of funny. But that's what I would tell you, that don't underestimate any of these young cats that the Dolphins ended up signing, because they easily could end up becoming players and guys that we're going to be rooting for years to come. I remember Lifford Hobley crossing the scab line, crossing the picket line from the Scabs to join the Dolphins. Because after the strike was over and they came to an agreement, right? Obviously the Scabs were hated by the regular players because they were like taking their jobs and all that stuff. But those guys wanted jobs too. And they just didn't get an opportunity. Here was their opportunity to be the replacements, right? With Gene Hackman and Shane Falco. So you got an opportunity to be that. Lifford Hobley comes out of the world of the Scabs, because that's what they were called, and he joins the Dolphins and played for the Dolphins for several years. Never underestimate any of these players. Keep an open mind, because the history tells you that one or two of these guys may end up making an impact. And here's the other thing that we have to remember. The history of these Miami Dolphins, and I'm talking about this front office now, recently, they find them. They find the gems off the street that end up helping them. Oh, Mac Hollins can't help you, he can help us. Nick Needham can't help you, he can help us. Siler can't help you, he can help us. That's how it goes. So it's pretty cool. So keep an open mind is what you got to do. That's the other reason why we'll be back here in a couple months for the Vegas Summer League. And it's one of the reasons why we always watch the Vegas Summer League now. Why? Because the Heat unearths talent out of nowhere. And that's why you always got to keep an open mind. We all want an opportunity in life, right? Just like these guys. We're no different. Whether you're a writer, you're an architect, you're whatever it is that you do in life. You know, you graduate, you do internships, and you just want an opportunity to prove that you belong and that you can be an architect in a firm, that you can be a writer in a newspaper or in a magazine. And these guys are the same. They're football players, basketball players, and they play in other leagues and minor leagues, and they come out of colleges and they get undrafted and unnoticed, and they just want a shot. So it happens, and that's why I would tell you keep an open mind because you never know where these guys are going to end up. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little basketball. The Miami Heat. Well, we kind of were weaving basketball and football in together in the last segment here. But the Miami Heat get to open up their series without Kyle Lowry against the 76ers. Now they'll be without Joel Embiid. Ira Winderman covers the Miami Heat on a daily basis. And he covers it here for us too, 3 times a week. So guess what's next? It's the Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right.
Hold on, Ira. Hold on, I got it. Okay.
All right. You got me there? You got me?
I got you, you got me, and my big head finally fits in the little rectangle before it was a square.
I'm not hearing you.
Can't hear me?
I don't know what's the deal. Wait a minute. Let me go here. You got him? Okay, so then now try it, Ira.
I'm still here. I'm still chatty.
There we go. All right, Sean, you can get our breakfast. It's outside, by the way.
What are you on work release and they're putting the breakfast, sliding it under the door there?
Nice. It's Postmates. So we ordered some breakfast, man. You know,
your Airbnb didn't come with a kitchen?
Yeah, full kitchen for sure. But I'm like that guy that comes back from the groceries. Hey, but we didn't get Wingstop. Yeah, you know, but we just bought food. Yeah, but we didn't get Wingstop. So so I just got to. I got to get my addiction in the morning.
Chicken time, eh?
Yeah, baby. Chick-fil-A.
Well, not yesterday.
That thing's like a drug. No, yeah, not yesterday. That thing's like a drug, dude. I don't know what they put in that stinking chicken, but it's just so awesome. I love the chicken biscuit. All right, so we got the series starting. First of all, let me go back to yesterday.
Okay.
And one of the things that I've been kind of harping on is Tatum and Brown. And while they were fantastic all year long and all that good stuff, it's kind of like the Panthers. Buddy, I need to see you like a long run. I need you to justify your talent.
Sure.
I need you. And this year you built up the hype with the defense and everything. And now you're home and you flop in game 1. And, I'm looking at the stats. And I'm looking at your 6 of 18 Tatum, your 4 of 13 Brown. One had 3 turnovers. The other one had 7. That's 10. That's 10 combined turnovers. You're playing against a team without Chris Middleton, and you lose at home. These are the things that I worry about with Tatum and Brown, that no matter how talented they are, I still need you to prove to me that you can be great in the moments that are the most important ones.
And you know what? I think they were seduced a little in the first round against that god-awful Brooklyn Nets defense when everything came easy. So in a way, their defensive challenges didn't start till the second round. They didn't have to play a team like the Heat. They didn't have to play a team like the Bucks. They didn't even have to play a team like the Sixers. I mean, we knew from the get-go, if the Nets were going to win, the Nets were going to outscore them, not out-defend them. So I think you're seeing all of a sudden a team like the Celtics realizing, hey, this is what NBA playoff level defense looks like, and that's what the Bucks offer. So I think that was an eye opener for Boston. After playing Brooklyn's god awful defense, now they're facing playoff defense. They will adjust to that. There's more force. There's more contact.
But didn't they expect it? But didn't they expect that?
You can expect all you want, but again, when you're sparring with someone half your size with no punching power, you're like, I can absorb these blows. It's not a problem. Then all of a sudden you get Giannis. Then all of a sudden you get the force of Drew Holiday. Then you get in your face, in your grill defense. It is different. Boston knows now, Big O, this is not a series that was going to be decided by home court. This was going to be decided by constant battles. If the Celtics win game 2, they're fine. They are more than capable of winning a game in Milwaukee. That has the look of 7 games still, I believe, written all over it.
So we go from Glass Joe to Mike Tyson, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
video game.
So from
Okay.
a powder puff to something decisively more real.
No, I got you. It's just, man, it's just like one of those where, come on, guys. And as they say, a series never starts until the home team loses, right? Well, hell, this series started right from game one.
Right.
Okay,
And that's such a bad cliche because the home team doesn't have to lose. You can just win your 4 home games. If the Heat doesn't lose at home against the Sixers, they win the series. So you know what? You take care of your business at home if you have to, but if you're good enough, you also have the confidence you can win on the road.
Yeah, but Milwaukee now has the home court advantage now at this point. So Boston is basically in a must-win situation in game 2.
Yeah, I would think so, because then you say, right, even if Milwaukee just splits at home, they're up 3-1 in really good shape. So you know what? It was an eye-opener. Let's see how this plays out tomorrow in game 2.
By the way, the second game was just absolutely phenomenal. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel bad for Memphis because you knew that was their shot, Big O, right? I mean, the Warriors are the better team, even though they're the road team. That was their game. I mean, the Warriors had 4 shots on offensive rebounds at the end to get that Klay Thompson 3. And then what a great design play going downhill for Ja Morant in the final 3.4 seconds. He got right to the cup. He got the perfect layup opportunity. Very well drawn up there. Sometimes you come up short, but man, the Warriors are looking like championship Warriors right now. They right now stand as my playoff favorite.
I'll tell you what, Ja Morant's a championship guard. The way he plays, the way he feels it too. At the end of that game, you
nothing overrated about that guy. I truly agree.
Yeah, I love the passion that kid plays with. All right, the Lowry decision. Any chance it has to do because Embiid is out?
Well, I think there's a part of this. I don't know if it's necessarily directly tied to that, nor would Eric supposed to tell us that. But again, like I've been saying here on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report for weeks now, the entire goal is to win 16 playoff games. You've won 4 already. You need 12 more. You don't want to put a player at risk with a hamstring strain that it becomes a full-fledged hamstring tear. So yes, you do risk analysis and you say to yourself, Game 5 against the Hawks, are we good enough without Kyle Lowry to win? The thought was yes, they were. They did. Game 1 against the Sixers without Joel Embiid. Eric Spoelstra sits there and goes, are we good enough without Kyle Lowry to win? He figures they are. They probably are. So you err on the side of caution. Again, you don't want to lose Kyle Lowry in game 1 or 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. You want Kyle Lowry there for the Eastern Conference Finals. You want Kyle Lowry there for the NBA Finals. And you know what? When you signed a 36-year-old point guard, you understood these are the decisions you're going to have to make.
All right. Well, no Embiid, and he kills Miami. He has a field day with them.
And that's why it's funny. You talked to me about must-win with the Celtics against the Bucks. I think these 2 games are must-win for the Heat for that reason.
Yes.
You don't want to give them life. You don't want to. We saw this already in 2018. The Heat played the Sixers. Joel Embiid, an orbital fracture also. Missed the first couple of games. The Heat couldn't make hay in that series. That was Dwayne Wade's final playoff series. Embiid came back with this Phantom of the Opera mask and took care of business against the Heat. You need to go in with a nice 2-0 buffer for Embiid time. If you do, again, you look for a split in Philadelphia. Like Atlanta, you come back, you close it out at home. If you give the 76ers life, you're going to get in trouble. That makes this more than a typical game 1 today. I agree.
So wait a minute. You're going to give Boston a pass, but you're not going to give Miami a pass if they underestimate or take the Sixers lightly.
Yes. And for this reason, it's not like the Bucks have a great player coming back in the mix. If you were to tell me that Chris Middleton is coming back from Milwaukee, then I'd say, damn well right, Boston better win before Middleton comes back. But he's not playing in this series, according to reports. That's the difference. This is a unique situation where maybe the best player in the NBA is coming back for the other team, possibly at some point. Take care of business. You've got to lay the law down. You've been very good at home. You have to do it again. You went 3-0 against the Hawks in the first round at FTX Arena. You have to start off 2-0 this time. That's the difference, because the other team has a secret weapon that's better than your secret weapon. No offense, Kyle Lowry at 36, but Joel Embiid right now is up there with Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo as the 3 best players in the NBA right now.
What tweaks do you expect in the rotation without Embiid in there?
You know, it's interesting. There's tweaks on both sides. Philadelphia's going to throw out anyone and everyone. They're going to throw out all their center possibilities. BB Paul, Paul Reed's going to go out there. You're going to see the player formerly known as DeAndre Jordan. You're going to see the player formerly known as Paul Millsap. Charles Bassey, the young player, might get a chance also. But I believe what's going to happen, Big O, is this. Philly's going to go small. George Niang, three-point shooter, stocky body, not much of an athlete, not much of a defender, very well could wind up being the de facto center. And this is going to go what Orlando Alzagari often talks about. Is Bam Adebayo a player who will punish an undersized, lacking defender, or does he simply not have that in his repertoire? So if George Niang gets more minutes than anyone at center for Philly, and they go small, can Bam make them pay for it? And Big O, Bam doesn't have a definitive go-to move like I wrote in the Sunset Note.
He doesn't.
He's not a guy with eyes on the rim. But you know what? If you let the Sixers get away with that crap, and Bam Adebayo against Georges Niang settles for 14 points in the game or something, you are playing right into Doc Rivers' hands. If they're going to go small, if they're going to go switching with a bunch of Lilliputians against Bam Adebayo, he has to be in the 20s or maybe even more, or else he's not the player you thought he was, and he's not that maximum extension player that you made him into.
Has Bam failed in that sense that he has not developed a shot that he can count on, money shot?
He doesn't have that go-to move, number one, but maybe that's just not who he is. You know, Big O, it's like saying certain players, he should shoot three-pointers. Maybe those players just can't shoot three-pointers. He should be a better defender. Maybe those players just can't be a better defender. Again, the Heat made Bam a max player based on his defense. But is he an all-around, all-NBA talent in that regard? If he doesn't raise the offense, this is a scoring league. This is not the old 93-89
right,
league.
He's a 90s player. Yeah,
right,
this
is a 115, 112 league, and you need offense from everyone. So this will be a very telling series. Look, doing it against Joel Embiid and his 7'2" with his 12-foot reach or whatever is one thing. Doing it against George Niang or Paul Millsap or a flat-footed DeAndre Jordan is another. So, yeah, I'm expecting more offensively from Bam, but maybe this is a time, Big O, we also learn it's just not there. It's just not who he is.
Is he just a slight upgrade over P.J. Brown?
No, P.J. Brown, for as much as he switched out and did everything, Bam is a freak. Bam, it might be the best switching player. I don't want to say, I almost want to say.
I'm just talking about the offensive side.
But
I mean, they're both great defensive players. He's just maybe a little better.
Yeah, PJ had that 14-foot baseline jumper that was money, but that was it. Bam is good around the rim, has decent footwork, but just doesn't have that sort of Elijah Wan-ness to his game where he can also beat you with finesse as well as with force. But again, he's young. There's still time. PJ Brown was an older player by then. So can Bam grow into it, whether it's working with Malik Allen right now, whether it's going to a big man camp, whether it's knocking on Hakeem's door in Houston? I still think there's a little more he can get out of his game, or else he gets stuck, just like Hassan Whiteside got stuck with his limitations.
No, I know, but it's 5 years in now already, right?
It's just 5 years in, but relatively young age-wise, where I still hope there can be more from his repertoire.
Yeah, because if he was a pretty good offensive player on a night like tonight, like on a night like tonight, Zoe, we're going to feed you. And Zoe would have 38 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks, and he'd wear the crap out of it.
Well, let me ask you this, Big O. We can come back to this on Wednesday in our Slummers Home Security Inside the Paint show and our crosstalk before. Since you're in Vegas and you're a betting man, if I were to tell you the over-under, I'm just making up a line here, on Bam Adebayo points in Game 1 against the 76ers was 17.5, would you go over or would you go under?
Under. 15 points, I was going to say.
Okay, so that tells you all you need to know. So I'm saying that they're throwing out 2 corpses and 2 neophytes against Bam, and you're saying he's getting under 17.5, then you really answered your own question there.
Yeah, and although you made it sound like they're going to bring out a lot of fouls. Tonight,
well, Doc Rivers said that. Doc Rivers said, we have those. We're going to roll through bodies. We're going to try to buy time. I think the bigger question on adjustments comes on the Heat side without Kyle Lowry. I'm fully expecting Gabe Vincent to start. We saw that the last 2 games against the Hawks. But this will be another Victor Oladipo night. And every opportunity he gets is another chance for him to make a statement with the Heat, another chance for him to make a statement ahead of free agency. This is a big night for Victor Oladipo. The 76ers bench is, let me think of the right word. Oh, terrible. So the Heat will have an advantage there anyway with Tyler Hero coming off.
Yeah.
But I also think this could be another Victor Oladipo night. And Eric Spoelstra spoke yesterday about that Tyler and Vic have been working on their chemistry in practice. They realize they're going to play together more. Vic can't play with Jimmy. Their styles are too similar. But with Tyler, he can. So the Hero Oladipo bench boost is far more than the Sixers can offer with Matisse Thybulle and Furkan Korkmaz. So that's the difference. So the Heat have to get something out of it. Keep an eye on Victor Oladipo. Again, I'm going back to the Orlando Alzagari betting line. Orlando, Victor Oladipo. I'm going to set it at 16.5 points tonight, over or under.
I'm going to go over, actually.
Okay, so right there. There's some interesting numbers just for the thoughts on the Heat and how this series can sort of manipulate from what we originally thought from the original Joel Embiid equation. Again, getting to the cup will be easier for Oladipo in attack mode without Embiid in there.
How much is the pressure built up for poor Duncan Robinson? Because whatever limited minutes he gets, he must be exceptional in order to open up the door for more minutes now. So he's kind of back into a place where he used to be at now, and he's got to find a way to kind of dig himself out of it.
We were talking about that at practice yesterday. I'm not sure this is a series for Dwayne Dedmon. He only played 2 minutes in the final game against the Hawks when Atlanta went small. Clearly, the way the Sixers are going to play, there's no need for a backup lumbering type center. So I think the first reserve will be Tyler Hero. I think the second reserve will be Caleb Martin, the de facto backup center power forward. I think the third reserve will be Victor Oladipo. And then the door will be open with Kyle out for Duncan Robinson. But for as much as Eric Spoelstra has told us over the years in the Duncan Robinson experience, I don't care if he goes 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 or 0 for 5, he's going to make the next 3. I'm not so sure, Big O, there'll be a chance to make the next 3. I think if he goes 0 for 2, 0 for 3, 0 for 4, that might be his night also. A lot more pressure on him to make shots at the start. At home, it's one thing. On the road, it might be something else. But right now, I would say Duncan Robinson looks like he will be 9th man. And when Kyle Lowry comes back, that's when it gets interesting if you keep Gabe Vincent in your mix as well.
Wow, yeah. And then is there anybody else that could leapfrog him?
Right now, I think he's safe as 9th man because Kyle is out as the 10th guy.
Right.
Then you have Udonis, Haywood Highsmith, Omar Yurtseven, and Markieff Morris. And Markieff is ill. I'm not sure he plays anyway. Markieff would be the only other guy. Again, Markieff's a guy who could play center in this series based on how Philly plays. So the door could be open. He has an upper respiratory infection. Don't know where he stands, non-COVID. But he didn't play a single minute. Only 2 Heat players didn't play a single minute who were available in the first round. Udonis Haslem, Markieff Morris. So I guess Markieff could push ahead of Duncan, but there's been no sign or inclination to this point.
Markieff Morris fined $25,000.
Yeah, and it was interesting. I just posted a story at sunsentinel.com about that. And he said he was trying to keep DeAndre Hunter from falling on him. And then, he just was helping him up. Obviously, the video tells a little bit of a different story.
Does he know that we're not stupid? Does he know this?
You know what?
Is he hanging out with Bill Clinton? I didn't inhale. Like what, dude? Like
people
we
who
weren't
are
born yesterday,
people
bro.
who are recidivists and have to, just to use an analogy, go in front of the parole board. You got to come with an argument, right, Big O?
Yeah, but
so he came with an argument.
There is no accountability with this guy.
He saved DeAndre Hunter's right. If he didn't grab DeAndre Hunter would have hit the hard metal chair like in the pro wrestling. He would have been knocked out and he would have concussed. I think what Markieff Morris did was a heroic act, and we should all thank him for that. Or not.
All right. Now, will you be gyrating like Jimmy Butler in honor of Jimmy Butler's, was it $15,000 fine?
$15,000 because his hips don't lie. You know what? That's who Jimmy is. And you know what's funny? Because I asked Markieff Morris, are you going to ask someone to pay your fine for that? And he goes, I ain't worried. I think it was like his phrase was for that little bitty ass amount of money. That's the one thing. You and I can sit here and talk about $25,000 fines and $15,000 fines, but it's so relative for these guys. Right. It's like, okay, charitable contribution, I can move on. Or as people said when Jimmy was fine, 1 cup of Big Face coffee and I'm even.
Right, exactly. He probably gets more play. Now it becomes a meme. So he's going to get way more traction out of
this.
this.
It'll become total marketing thing or whatever. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, so Heat tonight, I think the spread is 8. Over and unders 209. Miami is favored in the money line minus 350. Are we laying the 8?
I'm not laying the 8.
Split matchup of the night.
I think James Harden still can keep it competitive. He's that good. I think 8's a big number. If the number was around 5, I'd move into that. I'm not saying I would take the other side either, but I think the spread moved a little too much, and they are missing Kyle Lowry, and that is a fact.
And by the way, and I know you froze there. I hope you unfreeze here for a second. Before I let you go, Harden better start tonight, right? I mean, because if he doesn't,
yes. Well,
the Sixer fans are going to unload.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing right now, Big O. Harden has to get his 35, but is there another 65 points available from that roster? That's the question.
No. I mean, but he has to be look, I don't expect them to win, but he has to be a star tonight. If he lays an egg on a night that they need him desperately,
I agree.
I'm just saying the way that town is, they're gonna absolutely fry his ass all over social media. But I heard some of the clubs were open
on Sunday night in South Florida, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Tootsies, baby. Keep them busy. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. Catch his work at the South Florida Sun Center. Make sure you subscribe and support all of our local journalists. Ira, as always, appreciate you. We'll catch you on Wednesday
on
the
for a full hour.
Inside the Paint Show.
And back on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report on Friday. Thank you, Big O.
Thank you, Ira. Appreciate you. All right, that is Ira Winderman with our Accurate Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report. Let's take a break. Give me a couple minutes. Back with more right here on the Big O Radio Show.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane, Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
What? Oh, look.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. OK Coin is one of the largest fiat to crypto trading platforms in the world, founded in 2013. OK Coin offers advanced features for crypto beginners and high-volume traders alike, enabling users in 184 countries worldwide. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Yes, sir. We are ready to rock. It is hour number dos of the program. Thank you, sir. Thank you all out there. Essential Moving Experts, a proud sponsor, new sponsor of our program. And you know what I like about these guys? Check it out. Their colors are Dolphin colors. Their home base is in Daytona, and they deliver nationwide. So you can call them, and they are great sponsors now of our program. So take care of the people that take care of us. Good people out there at Essential Moving Experts, 1-844-368-5740. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. And they are good people, man. Been talking to them. We will get to meet them, by the way. You'll get to see them on air with us when we go up in June. Sean and myself, and the ladies, by the way, we're also going to take the ladies with us to Daytona, and we're going to be out at Flagler Beach, which is just right there by Daytona Beach, and we're going to be broadcasting out of Tortugas. That's the name of the bar, and my boys here at Essential Moving they're going to come out and hang out with us, so it's going to be cool. So I appreciate all of you out there as always. And support all of our sponsors, man. So if you need a little Nature B in your system, there you go. Get some Nature B. Tell them that Big O sent you. Use the code Big O for free shipping on Nature B. You see what I'm saying? So all of our sponsors, man. Anyway, appreciate all of you out there as always. Let's see. What else do we have here? If Duncan Robinson is not scoring, he's a defensive liability. He's got to be ready when minutes come to him. Yeah. Yes, he better be ready. And don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button. Avora Void says, hey, Big O, is Essential Moving Experts new? Yes, they are. Oh, so you answered the question. Yes. They started this weekend with us during the draft. It was the essential move to make. Get some draft picks, get Essential Moving on the show, all those things. What else do we have here? Sean Davis says, let's give a good look to Tanner Connor. Wow. Comps to Allen Robinson, 49. My gut telling me he's going to make the team. Tape is pretty eye-opening, just as that it factor. Well, we will see. We will see. That's why I told you. It's just give these young men a chance, and let's find out. Okay? Because Even Needham, when he started off crappy, I was like, who is this guy? Oh, please, get out of here already. He turned into a heck of a player. All right? I'm not telling you he's a Pro Bowler or a second coming or anything, but Nick Needham coming off the street made himself a good player, man. I'm one of those. I think most of us would be super impressed with him. Preston Williams is such an enigma. This morning I watched his interviews, read scouting reports. He's huge, decent speed, good hands, decent routes. Sadly, he's the definition of potential. Exactly. Preston Williams is the guy that you design in a factory to look as the ideal wide receiver. Now, the problem is he doesn't play like it. That's the major problem. Kid just doesn't what I see from Preston Williams is there's no fire, no desire. Did you watch John Moran last night? That's what I want from Preston Williams. I want the pain that I saw John Moran carry yesterday at the end of that game when he lost. That's what I love. Because I know that you could tell that kid is going to sell out every single moment that he's on the court. And so if you lose, you didn't lose because John Morant choked. You didn't lose because John Morant got small in the moment. The other team was just better. They made one more play or 5 more plays or whatever. But it's not because John Morant was a dog or gave up or didn't try or half-assed something. And that's when I look at Preston Williams, I look at a guy that's kind of coasting on his talent. I don't look at a guy that plays with hunger and passion and there's a level of him getting pissed off when he doesn't do something right. There's probably a little too much happy-go-lucky, even when things aren't going well. That's my problem with Preston Williams. Preston Williams hasn't shown me on the field his body language, who he is. He hasn't shown me the passion that he has for this game. The will, the determination, the want, the need to be great. I look at Caleb Martin for the Miami Heat, and that kid wants to be a star. I look at Max Strus, and he's like, F you, bro. I'm going to dunk on you. I'm going to shoot on you. I'm going to block your shot. Whether he can or he can't, doesn't matter. But he has the attitude. I don't see that dude from Preston Williams. I still see a kid. I don't see a man that wants it, that needs it, that has to have it. That it's what defines him on the field. Not as a person, but as a player. Because obviously, nothing on the field really should, define you as a person. It's how you carry yourself. Outside of the field, that'll define you in there. But at least on the field, I don't see that. And until I see that, I don't think you'll ever see the player that we know he can be. Which, by the way, is the worst part about the entire equation named Preston Williams. You know it, and I know it, and everybody else knows it. He has the good Lord bless him with some amazing ability. And so far, all he's done is sit right down the damn toilet. So it's up to him, man. It's up to him. I've seen guys like him left and right. Let's see. Oh, yes, he seems bored and uninspired. Then again, he's a Dogecoin guy, so, Speaking of Doge, by the way, just to give you a little OK Coin crypto corner here, if we can switch gears here just a second. because I want to warn you, if the Feds are going to give us another 0.5% or 0.75% hike, things are going to be bad. Okay, because the loose hands are going to sell. So prices are going to drop in stocks, obviously, crypto, the housing market, all kinds of things are going to start suffering. I just want you to be prepared for that. I think if we start, if the recession starts, Bitcoin will start to climb, but altcoins will take hits. So I want you to be prepared. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Not a financial advisor. I ain't selling a damn thing. I'm invested in my coins, that my companies that I believe in, and I'm gonna. If Cardano goes lower, I will buy lower. If Avalanche goes lower, I will buy lower. If Polygon goes lower, I will buy lower. Okay, that's just me. But if you don't have the same conviction on certain coins, just say it. Just be prepared. All right. But I just, it's something that it depends on what stocks you're invested in or what coins you're invested in or something. But I'm just saying, if there's a rate hike again, and it's going to be bigger than what was expected, because if it's a quarter, I don't think it'll affect the market that much. If it gets to half a point, then I think it starts to get really nervous. And they're talking about maybe being really aggressive because, what at the end of the last regime, they printed so much money and gave it away to, it was like people were scamming the government left and right. And then the new president takes over and he prints more money to give away. So for a couple of years, we just, so they're going to have to try to even things out. And this is the only way they can do it. And then that's going to set a lot of things back. So I'm just saying, be prepared, because not people like me, not the really rich people and all that, they can hold and they don't care. But there's going to be people that hardworking people, and they're going to panic and they're going to, unload some of their coins. And then obviously some of the prices are going to end up dropping. For me, I'm going to look at it as a blessing, because I'm not worried about any of this for 2 or 3 more years from now. So it's, to me, it doesn't matter, because I'm worried. I'm more worried about, global adoption, which is what's coming. It's already happening in front of us. Every single day, global adoption becomes even more and even more and even more. So it's that I'm not worried about. The inevitable will come, but short term, you're going to have some volatility. So I just want you to be prepared that if they do go for a higher rate hike, there could be some drops in prices, and there could be, don't panic. But, for me, I'm going to look at it more as a buying opportunity, stake, hold, wait, and I know where it's going to be down the line, and you're going to come up. But if you can't afford to be patient and wait, I'm just saying you may have to think about other options. But right now, it's like I've seen Avalanche go down, and at OKCoin, I get it at 8.6%. So to me, it doesn't matter when things go sideways or a little down, because I'm still earning interest. The thing about crypto that people don't understand is you're going to earn interest and you're going to make your money work many ways. One, let's say, I'll give you an example. I love the company Avalanche, right? So I'm heavily invested in Avalanche. So I think eventually the Avalanche coin will continue to climb into a couple $100, right? So it's going to grow in that sense. So now what I'm doing is I'm staking it at 8.6%. So now I'm earning 8.6% on my Avalanche. The coins they're giving me are coming in at the current market price. So I'm earning 8.6% in interest, right? Then eventually, when it goes up in value, the interest they gave me is also going to go up in value. So it'll be a lot more than 8.6%. So technically, your coin will work for you in three different ways: up in value, interest, and then the interest climbing in value. So that's why the mathematics, if you're patient, it just multiplies. And then eventually when it shoots up, guess what ends up happening? But you have to have patience and you have to wait. Have to do that. So there you go. That's your OK Coin Crypto Corner. If you're worried about a recession tanking crypto prices, purchase a stock to offset that loss. I'm invested in an inverse ETF and SP. If crypto goes down, this ETF goes up. Counterbalance it. Yep, that's a very smart move. Very smart move, Chase. Big O is right. A bad time to buy a house or condo. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're gonna overpay, and it's gonna go down. Like, I just think that housing prices have shot up so much that you're probably better off waiting for it to come down so you can get back in. Big O, if we don't have regimes in America, we administrators, words have meanings. The feds have already said there will be 5 more 50-point raises this year at half a point. I know, but some are saying that it could go even higher. So that's the thing. And also Powell could say, well, maybe things are a little, and maybe they go back a little bit in only a quarter. We'll see. They tell you one thing, but doesn't necessarily mean they're going to end up doing it. It still becomes a little bit unpredictable. That's why this week, just be careful. I'm just saying, just be careful. Let's see. Big O is right. Agree. Sit it out and wait. Keep buying low, thinking long term. Eventually, it will go back up. It always does, and will carry the value buying low with you. Exactly. But you must be patient. If you're not patient, you're screwed. I'm conflicted. Rent an X-rated video or watch Simona Halep versus Coco Gauff. Both. But you got to watch Simona a couple of years ago instead. Chase says, I don't think altcoins will drop heavily relative to Bitcoin. People invested in altcoins are more in it for the long. I think BTC, maybe ETH, will have the people that panic and sell. I hope ETH goes down. I'd like to load up more on ETH, personally, for me. But I still think altcoins will go down because people with soft hands will let them go. That's my problem. I don't think that I think you have stronger hands holding Bitcoin and Ethereum than you do, let's say, somebody holding Polygon or Cardano. I think those soft hands will, let it go until then the prices will drop. Which, by the way, again, I don't have a problem with it because if there's a coin that I like and it drops even more, I'll buy a little bit more. I got no problem. I'm not panicking whatsoever. I'm not going to worry about it because I know where it's going to be in the long term. So I'm not here to invest. I'm a working stiff, so I have to wait for long term. I don't have the kind of money that I can, invest on something. Hey, let me put 500,000 on ApeCoin at $13 when it shot up to 22 just to, yesterday, the day before. I'll sell it all off. Of course, if you have that kind of money, you can do those kind of things. I can't do that kind of stuff. It's crazy. And ApeCoin, by the way, went back down again, just so you'll know. So for those of you that were investing, the problem with ApeCoin is it's a utility coin. So after they've purchased their lands, then it goes back down. And look at Crow. Crow's gone down. And I think the thing that's going with Crow is because of the rates going down, the staking rates, I think some people have divested out of Crow, and that's kind of lowered their number a little bit. But eventually it'll go back up. Because if you shop around, you'll notice that there are very few places that do it better. OKCoin's one of them that has certain coins. You can actually stake way better on OKCoin than you can on Crow. But on Crow, you can stake ETH and Bitcoin where you can on OKCoin. That's the thing. That's why you almost end up having to use multiple platforms because not all platforms have all the coins. That's the problem. Big O, how high do you think ETH will get in the future? Over $10,000. For sure. For sure. By by June of 2023, it's at $10,000. A year from next month, it's at 10 grand. Put it that way. Because remember, E2 will be in the third quarter, it'll be kicked in. By then, the transactions, the sharding, all of that will just pick up. Hopefully the gas fees are going to be down, because that's why Polygon has been such a monster, because a lot of people are doing transactions on Ethereum. They're doing it on Polygon because it's a fraction, it's pennies for transactions compared to dollars up to $100. And it's ridiculous sometimes. So once E2 gets kicked in and they add the layer 2 to the ecosystem, it's over. That's when Ethereum will explode. So yeah, I think over 10. Do you think the Finns will go after a veteran center? I still think, dude, they're gonna go after JC Treader. I think they're waiting for him to lower his price. That's what I think is happening. And Treader will have to lower the price because nobody's signing him. And what's he going to do? Sign for a shitty team just because he wants more money? I doubt he wants to do that at this point in his career. So sign with a team that at least has a shot. And I think our boys have a shot. Digital currency is a get-rich scheme. No, I mean, that's what you can think of, but go ahead. Everything's a get-rich scheme, sir. Housing, stocks, crypto, whatever you think is a scheme, you can get rich at. I get it. Land found, you don't know jack shit about crypto, so you say stupid ass stuff. But it's understandable. I mean, this happens all the time. I don't know anything. I'm super ignorant. But I'll just slam it since I don't know anything about it. Big O, will Solana ever hit 1,000? I don't know about that. I don't know about 1,000. XRP, I wouldn't touch XRP with a 1,000-foot pole. Okay, for me, anybody that invests in XRP, you're a maniac. You're out of your mind. How do you invest in something that's in a lawsuit with the SEC? That makes zero sense. It's ridiculous. Anyway, all right, we got a bunch of things to talk about. By the way, Dolphins, according to SVN, since that's where Drew does his work on Sunday nights, he says Carlos Dunlap and Akeem Hicks have been how do we say, Rosenhaus and the Dolphins have talked a little bit about Dunlap and Hicks. Interesting. Add a little pass rush. Nothing wrong with that. They have done a really good job of, after all these moves, they've got $20,000 of cap space. $20 million, of cap space still. So that's been really, really smart on their end. The way they've kept very flexible throughout this entire process. Have you seen Tyreek Hill's videos doing that offseason risk? Oh, you talking about the basketball? What are you gonna do, bro? Guys do stuff. They're athletes. Stuff's gonna happen, man. You can't control all of that. All right, give me a second here. Give me 1 minute here. Let me take a really quick break right here on the Big O Radio Show.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them.
With Sloman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation.
Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
All right, and don't forget, folks, when you call Sloman's 1-800-ALARM-ME, you can get that free doorbell camera. So make sure you mention the Big O radio show at Sloman Shield. 1-800-ALARM-ME. John says XRP is still good. Do your own research. XRP is good, but there are other companies starting to do what Ripple does. So when does Ripple get over? And apparently this lawsuit's going to run into 2023. So other companies are gaining on Ripple, and Ripple can't do any business in America for this entire year again. So if this lawsuit is going to last all year, I don't know what the future of XRP is by that time. They're allowing other people to catch up to them. I'm just saying, maybe you're invested in XRP and that's why you're a little biased on it, but you have to admit, if this thing's going to last all year long, it's not a good thing. Okay? Not a good thing. XRP's only gone down. Now, the entire market's only gone down. I mean, everything's gone down because right now everything's hurting right now. But still a problem. So it is a problem. The longer Treader remains unsigned, the more his contract price has to go down. I agree. I would be happy if we can talk JC Treader down and sign him. All of a sudden, you short up most of the line. Listen, some of you are assuming that Dieter can't play, and that's just not fair either. You know, so. Heard Treader didn't even practice. Yeah, he's got bad knees. So that's a problem. It's a major problem for him. By the way, did you see the Scottie Pippen story? I got to say something about Scottie Pippen. Dude, you got to let it go, bro. When asked about why he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year, he says, I think they were too busy watching Michael. I don't know what Scottie's problem is with Michael. Scottie Pippen should be, more than anyone else, incredibly grateful that they drafted him in the Bulls, because he only became Scottie Pippen because of Michael Jordan. If he gets drafted on another team, he may never have found out how good he could have been. And he certainly wasn't going to have all those titles. I mean, dude, you had your moment. And you chose to sit on the bench and let Kukoc take the shot because you acted like a petulant child. You had your migraine. I mean, Scottie, dude, you had a great career, dude, a Hall of Fame career. Be grateful that you got to play next to Michael. All I ever hear from Scottie Pippen is a dude that's ungrateful about the situation that he got put in. That situation allowed him to grow into a great player because he had a great player next to him, feeding him that confidence and the game. Scottie Pippen would never have been Scottie Pippen if he probably goes to any other team that isn't the Bulls. And we never, ever see that Scottie Pippen. Maybe he becomes a decent player, a solid player, but not an all-time player. And every time there seems to be some kind of a shot. And maybe that's why Michael is the way he is with you. Because maybe you were an ungrateful prick behind the scenes. But I got to say, all I ever hear from Scottie is a dude that's ungrateful. Please, let's not go comparing any of the two. And I hope he isn't either, thinking that he's anywhere in that level. No one's at that level. LeBron can chase all he wants and go try to find that team and this team and that team. He'll never, ever be Michael Jordan. Ever. Nobody is. And there's nothing wrong with that. Every once in a while, a guy comes along that just happens to be better than everybody else. And you just say, you know what? That's why he's the great one. Wayne Gretzky. Because he's the great one. And same thing with Michael. So I don't know what's up Pippen's ass. But whatever it is, and whatever he did to Michael, and why Michael probably busts his balls all the time, know your place, bro. Know your place. You're a hell of a player. But you're James Worthy. You're not Michael. You're not Magic Johnson. That's just the way it is. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. Any of us would give whatever we could to have the career that Scottie Pippen had in the NBA. But it's just like always, there's always some kind of a shot. There's always like this thing, like that's the dude that made your career. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to Markieff Morris it, all you want. Because, after this fine and that explanation, I'm already convinced that Markieff Morris, that dude will never have any kind of, he will never assume responsibility for anything. It's amazing. Scottie, dude, just shut up, bro. Be grateful for what you have and what you are a part of. For Christ's sake. Jordan was a hard-ass teammate, but what exactly did Pippen do outside of Chicago? Jordan made Pippen's career. I know. Jordan, no. Jordan didn't save the NBA, Willie. What are you, 25 years old, dude? Huh? You know anything about the NBA? Dude, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved the NBA. Please, dude. That's not even close. That shows you know nothing about basketball if you say that. If you actually believe that right there, you don't know about the history of basketball. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird saved the NBA, my brother. You might as well delete that statement, okay? The greater good heading to the Big Cheese for lunch. Oh, those garlic rolls. Yeah, baby. Look what happened when he was in Portland, blew a big lead in Game 7 of the playoffs versus the Lakers. Know your role, jabroni. That's what Jean-Luc says. John Randall was undrafted. Hall of Famer. JP on sports, no Bird Magic. Dr. J. Kareem saved the NBA. Yep, JP, yep, you know more sports than Maldonado does. But it's really Bird and Magic. The NBA was on the playoffs and the finals were on tape delay. Magic and Bird came into the league, took it by storm. To this day, it's still the greatest rivalry in the history of basketball. Lakers Celtics in the 80s. Nothing will ever come close to Celtics Lakers in the 80s. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. Those two saved the NBA, made it live, made the NBA fantastic. Big facts, Big O. Of course, I lived it. Big O, what letter grade would you give the Dolphins draft? An A, because they got me a linebacker. I mean, it's one pick, bro. What do you want me to do? Kareem is the GOAT. I got no problems anybody saying Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the best player in the history of the game. Got no problem with that. I'm gonna go Michael, but if you say Kareem, it's very understandable and hard to argue, put it that way. We can go back and forth and have some fun with it, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the beast. Jordan didn't make anything, bro. Magic and Bird saved everything. Don't try to do anything. Magic and Bird saved the entire league. On a pickup game, Jordan and LeBron are sitting on a bench, and in my turn to pick, I'll pick LeBron any day. You go ahead. I'll pick Jordan every day of the week and twice on Sundays. I get it. You probably didn't watch both careers. Now Big O is a historian. Yeah, I am. Glad you noticed it now. When they could bang heads, love the Pistons rivalry too. Yeah, Pistons beat down the Bulls for a while. It was the Celtics beating the Pistons down until the Pistons could get through the Celtics. It was the Pistons beating down the Bulls until the Bulls can get through the Pistons. It's kind of the way it went. Bird, you would get offended if you put a white guy to guard me, laughing my ass off. That dude was funny as hell, but could back it up. Oh, yeah. Do you still think it's possible we'd sign Ingram or Foster? Ingram, hopefully. Foster, don't even touch him with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't want to bring Foster on the team for nothing in the world. I wouldn't trust the guy. Morning, Big O. Got a linebacker question. Has Lim Bowden fell by the wayside? Why are you asking me a linebacker question? I think we got the kid's going to explode this year. It's a receiver question. Well, we'll see. I do like his talent like you do, like a lot of people do. Orlando, remember your heart, bro. Oh, that's not going to do anything to my heart, bro. I'm good. Do you think Jordan hurt himself a little bit coming out of retirement to play for the Wizards? No, because remember that was a part ownership thing and all that? No, man. Jordan, you don't care about Emmitt Smith in Arizona. You don't care about Joe Namath with the Rams. You don't care about Willie Mays with the Mets. You don't care about any of that, dude. You don't care about Sugar Ray Leonard getting knocked down by some guy named Tony, I think it was. Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I mean? It's sad when we see some of our great players end their careers in places that they shouldn't be ending them or anything like that. But in the end, that never takes away from who they were. We say that at that moment, oh my God, Emmitt Smith's going to Arizona. You forgot all about it, dude. You don't care. You only remember Joe Namath in a fur coat and predicting that they were going to win the Super Bowl and walking out waving that one finger. You don't care about Joe Namath broken down in the Rams. You don't remember it. It's a bunch of crap that we come up with that there's zero truth to it. Zero. It never takes away from who they are. If they were great, they were great. And that's all you're ever going to remember. It's the way it is. But we make it sound like at that moment, oh, it's going to take away from his legacy. Give a shit about Jordan in a Wizards uniform. Although he did play 82 games. Kiss my ass with all that load management. Big O, anyone who says LeBron is better than MJ has no clue on what they're talking about. You know what, Andy? Anybody who says LeBron over MJ, they didn't watch both careers. That's all. It's pretty simple. Here's the equation and where it ends with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. For all you 25 and 35-year-olds that you never saw Michael Jordan's career and you wouldn't know what Michael Jordan really is. You can only read it in a textbook. You can only watch it on YouTube. But you don't know jack squat. Michael Jordan, sophomore I think it was, baseline, North Carolina, biggest game, biggest shot, championship. Michael Jordan didn't have to learn how to cut your heart out. Michael Jordan was a son of a bitch from day one. LeBron James was not that. He had to come to the University of the Miami Heat in order to learn how to be the alpha that he needed to be in the key moments. That's why LeBron James will never be Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan was cutting your heart out when he was a kid. By the time he got to the NBA, he didn't care, bro. He was lighting everybody up. He was scoring 63 in the Garden and losing, but that's because he had Orlando Woolridge and Rory Sparrow. And, you know, like what we talk about with Tua, you need help, bro. Even if you're Michael Jordan, you need Pippen and you need Ho Grant and you need Cartwright and you need Hodges or Kerr or Paxson or whatever. But you need people around you in order to win. Magic doesn't carry you by himself. No, he needs Kareem and he needs Worthy, he needs Byron Scott, Michael Thompson. You get what I'm saying? Some of you don't understand that. Some of you keep thinking that this one guy does it all by himself. You got to have a team too. But my point is, Michael was fearless of every moment. So LeBron James will never be Michael Jordan, can never be Michael Jordan. Michael was in one place that never won, by the way. The Bulls sucked. He made the Bulls relevant. He made the Bulls matter. And then everybody came to him and built around him. He didn't go ring chasing and let me go to this team. And oh, no, you guys are done. Let me go over here. Oh, you guys are done. Let me go here. Oh, you guys are done. Let me go here. That wasn't Michael Jordan. So I find it to be silly, ridiculous, unintelligent, lack of knowledge. Anybody that wants to put LeBron in front of Michael. That's all. I just think you're a silly little fan. You're a little fanboy of the last 20 years, and you don't really know basketball. And you don't really follow what Michael Jordan had to do. I broke his foot in an era where medicine wasn't where it was at, and the guy was back the next year balling out. There's nobody like that guy. Nobody. That's the guy that goes out to gamble in Vegas till 2 a.m. Then he comes back the next day and puts 50 on your head. There's nobody like that, bro. They don't make people like that. There's very few of those kind of guys. That's those cutthroat people that they're different, man. They're at another level. They're ruthless. LeBron James rarely has been ruthless. This guy was ruthless the entire existence. Ruthless. So, and he played in an era. He played in an era where you landed on your ass. Played in an era where redwood trees existed, where Mark Eaton wasn't going to allow you to go through there, where Bill Laimbeer or Mahorn and all those kind of cats weren't going to let you. And there was an Olajuwon and there's a David Robinson. Oh, please. And Michael Jordan had to go through the redwood trees to get to the hoop while he landed on his ass. That's another thing. He played in a much more physical era. So please, don't insult my intelligence by trying to tell me or put LeBron James anywhere near Michael Jordan. That child had to learn to be a man. Michael Jordan was a man-child. Huge difference. Huge difference when there's a guy that was born with cojones and another guy that had to wait for his BBs to drop. Silliness comparing those two. Put it this way. I don't even put LeBron in Magic's class. How about that? You go watch Magic and Bird, Michigan State, Indiana State. Those are sons of bitches from the get-go. They didn't need to learn how to be alphas. Magic and Bird were alphas from when they were in high school. They were alphas. Please. Big O, it's weird too because MJ was loved by everybody, but LeBron has mad haters. Well, LeBron has mad haters because LeBron's always been a whining, complaining, pointing the fingers, all that. And Michael Jordan didn't do any of that. Michael Jordan just went about his business, took your title from you, made Craig Elo and the Cavs frustrated, left Utah, without humming a jazz note, said, "Oh, Pistons, okay, you're beating me up, now I'm gonna overtake you." We watched Michael Jordan overcome and embarrass and tell the Knicks and the Heat, "Yeah, you guys are really good, but you got no shot because I'm here." Like he took on all comers. The Davis boys and Reggie Miller came at him. You couldn't bring them down. Please don't compare Michael Jordan ever to LeBron James. Michael Jordan had to battle the redwood trees, and he had to battle the Davis boys, and he had to battle the Knicks, and he had to battle the Heat, and he had to battle the Pistons. Kiss my ass. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And if you're not old enough, then you don't have the knowledge, and you don't have the experience, and you didn't see it. And don't tell me you saw a couple clips on YouTube because you didn't live it. So you have no idea what it was like to face the bad boys. Zero. That's the problem. The NBA was, you talk about badasses in the NBA in those days? It's not even close, dude. Like Cry James' performance against Dallas in 2011 was a shameful forever. Yeah, no, I know. Can you imagine JJ Barea trying to back down Michael Jordan? Michael would have swatted that punk out, steal the ball from him, dunk him, and then tell him, hey, get the hell off this court. You don't even belong here. J.J. Barea embarrassed LeBron James. That alone in itself, J.J. Barea and LeBron James, that moment right there says he doesn't even come close to Michael Jordan. Because there is no situation like that in Michael's career. It doesn't exist. Big O, I can tell you are tired. You're being too nice this morning. Watched all 3 days of the draft. Excellent work. Thank you, sir. Detroit would hurt people. Well, you know that, Ronald, because you probably lived it. Big O, you speaking facts. I lived through it. Those are facts about Jordan. Straight killer. LeBron in his dreams couldn't be Michael Jordan. He can chase and talk all he wants, and all you 35 and under schmucks that don't know squat about the history of basketball can kiss LeBron's ass. That's because you didn't watch the best. That's all. It's pretty simple. Because you don't know basketball. That's all. What Michael did, it's not even close to anything that LeBron has done. Not even close. And the embarrassments of LeBron don't exist with Michael Jordan. That's the difference. So those comparisons are just, it's a comparison that just shows a lack of history and knowledge from anybody that takes the LeBron side. That's all it is. Because if you compare the history and the facts, it's not even close. By the way, where the hell is Poopart?
Oh, I texted him, no response.
What is he, asleep or something?
I should be. It's noon.
Kind of a slacker is he? Anyway, I sent him a text too. NBA is far more skilled today. The hand check and physicality allowed less athletic players to exist. Hard to compare errors. MJ was tremendous, but LBJ is special as well. Didn't say LBJ was special. I just said he's not MJ. And I know they're skilled, but this physicality stuff, still, there's nobody more skilled than Michael Jordan. It's as skilled as it gets. Skill doesn't stop you. By the way, last time I checked, is there a 6'10" power forward like Larry Bird in the league right now? Huh, Jesse M? Who's the skilled 6'10" guy like Larry Bird? Huh? Somebody tell me that. Who is it? Who's the 6'10" guy skilled like Larry Bird? Come on, Jesse. Who is it? Who is that? Who is the skilled guy like Larry Bird? Dirk's not in the league right now. That's a good one, by the way. It's a really good one. I like that one. Dirk didn't have. They were kind of similar inside. I like that one. Is there a guy now? No, Durant doesn't. He's a different player. He's a different player than Bird. Who at center? Who's as skilled as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? Is there a 6'9" point guard right now in the NBA like Magic Johnson? Who's that?
Somebody threw Luka in the chat.
Luka like Magic? That's pretty good. He's actually a better shooter than Magic.
I'm not sure where it fell in, but yeah.
I wouldn't put Luka. No, Luka's not Bird. Bird was way more physical than Luka. Bird can get you 10 rebounds and be physical inside. That's not Luka. I like Luka more like better shooter than Magic. Something like that. That's probably something like that. But you see what I'm saying? These are guys that could play in this league at this time. They would be the problem with the problem with Jesse M's statement is that what he doesn't understand is that Michael would have been better now because they can't touch him. But of course, Jesse M is probably 25, 35 years old, probably didn't live it, didn't understand it. What Jesse M doesn't understand is that Bird would dominate now even more. That Magic would dominate even more. That's the part that Jesse M doesn't understand. You know what I mean? Pistol Pete would dominate even more. You know, for somebody that tells me that there aren't guys that had skills, they have more skills. Yeah, I know they're more athletic now overall. Of course. Athletes are better overall now. But if you give those athletes the same nutrition that they have now and the same diets and all of that, what do you think they are? What do you think Jim Brown becomes and Walter Payton becomes with today's nutrition and today's training? You know, it's this silliness that people get because you're prisoners of the moment. And then you think like Jesse M and you say stupid shit like, well, no, because, you know, it would have been, they're more athletic now. They were athletic then too. They just didn't have the nutrition and the training that they have now. But if you give them that, what do you think they're going to be? What changes about Magic Johnson? Maybe he's a little faster. Maybe he's a little more athletic now. Maybe Bird's a little more athletic now. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you still can't stop that shot. You know what I mean? Watch Walter Payton. You think Walter Payton wasn't going to be a little better in today's world too? Of course. But if you can't put your hands on Isaiah Thomas, how good will he be now? But, you know, Jesse M probably never saw Isaiah Thomas play the game. That's why he would say something like that. Because you almost make it sound like, oh, there are no athletes then. No. What's gotten better is the medicine, the nutrition, and the training. That's what's made the athletes better. That's all. But if you got those athletes and you gave them the same food and the same training and the same medical and all that stuff, what do you think ends up happening? But no, let's be prisoners in the moment and let's just think that, no, these guys are just built better. They're just better athletes. They're just better players overall. I wouldn't say that. It's just they're in an era where they have better opportunities to improve their bodies. But it's not because, oh my God, those guys can't play in this league. I get in football, the sizes have kind of changed. That's kind of changed. But a 6'9" freakish point guard like Magic Johnson, I don't know, that's freakish in any era, man. Any era. They have better shoes now, too. That's true, actually. You're playing with Chuck Taylors and stuff? Yeah, you're right. Put MJ in this era with the training and nutrition, they will literally think he's an alien. I know. And the drive. Remember, the drive. Without Bird, no Kerr, no Ray Allen, no Curry, the godfather of the perimeter shot. I'm trying to think of Bron's sidekick, his first go-around Cleveland. Had Shaq and Kobe, MJ, Groom Pippen. I don't think he had one in Cleveland. Nobody would go to Cleveland. NBA with Ahmad Rashad were the days. Yeah, baby. Yeah, Ahmad Rashad. The man that would never ask any tough questions whatsoever. Yes, sir. We love those boring ass pasty-ass interviews. Yes. Ahmad Rashad. Yeah. I enjoyed Ahmad Rashad, the Minnesota Vikings wide receiver. The interviewer, you can keep him, you can have him his entire interview career. You can just flush it right down the toilet. It was all fluff the entire time. He followed Michael everywhere, and it was fluff city. You want fluff? Check out Ahmad Rashad and his fluff show. I don't know about you, but that his broadcasting for that stuff did nothing for me. Is that just me? Because only old guys can answer this. Is it just me, or because Ahmad Rashad to me was like total fluff? Like every time he came out, it's like I knew I wasn't going to get anything. It was, hey, let me just lob layups here. Michael's my buddy. I won't piss him off, and I'll ask him all kinds of really easy questions and nothing. Am I the only one that? Did you notice the same thing, John, with Ahmad Rashad interviews back in the day? Did you think they were fluff?
Yeah, I would say probably. Yeah. Now knowing what I know now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He goes, knowing what I know now, yeah.
With how everything works. I mean, now that I'm in the industry.
Right. Exactly. I like the games that would happen after the Ahmad Rashad show. NBA Inside Stuff. Love that show, Jam Session. Inside Fluff. I'd love to see Ken Griffey Jr., Shaquille O'Neal, and Deion Sanders in that era. Exactly. I mean, you know. Those were amazing talents. It's just, I know the athleticism is better overall with guys. I understand that. Everything is better. Training, nutrition, guys are, the technique of training and everything is so much better for everything. And that's the one thing that, you know, if those athletes in the past would have had that, they would have also enjoyed a lot of success. Ahmad Rashad tried to be more of a people-friendly person, and he nailed it. That's it. That's what he was. He was just the guy that he wanted to be liked by everybody. Mr. Fluff. No, I get it. And listen, it's NBA inside stuff. It's the NBA show. So what else are you going to do? It's, you know, driven by the NBA, so you're going to have to kiss their ass. If not, they're not going to let you stay, you know, do the show. You're not going to be able to actually ask tough questions. You know what I'm saying? All right, he is ready. The slacker is ready. He is locked and loaded now. I don't know. I think he was trying to track down some information on some of these undrafted rookie free agents and all that. So maybe he'll have a breakdown for us on Cater Kahu out of Texas A&M Commerce. I think he's got a full breakdown of that. Alan Poupar in our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report starts hour number 3 next.
The Big O Radio Show is looking for partners to join our growing platform. If your business is ready to reach an audience that starts in Florida, crosses the nation while expanding internationally, this is the program that provides that vehicle. The Big O Radio Show is ready to broadcast live anywhere in the world to represent your event or product. To reach out by phone, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. Or email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Help us grow as we provide the content and personal connection corporate entities will never achieve. Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupard. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupard.
He is. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great.
You're in Dolphins camp today?
I am at Florida Panthers practice, actually.
Oh,
doing
that's right.
some moonlighting, some hockey moonlighting right now.
Some NHL.com moonlighting. Is that what you're doing?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. So let me ask you before I get into the Dolphins. Sorry, Dolphin fans. I'm going to piss you off a second. I'm going to talk a little okie. Should I be just a little bit concerned that neither one of my goaltenders is on his head right now? Because I this whole story of we got two goaltenders. It's good. Everybody would love to have two goaltenders. Yeah, no, I'd like to have one really hot freaking goaltender. And that's what makes me feel good going into the playoffs. So, Mr. Canadian, am I being a hoser?
No, it's you know what they say about quarterbacks. You have two quarterbacks. You have no quarterbacks. Does the same thing apply for goalies? No. Here's the thing, though. More often than not, it's you run into these series where the goalie will make a complete difference. That doesn't happen all that much or as frequently as
96.
Some people make it out to be.
96.
96. But also the Panthers were really tight defensively as well. Like last year, for example, the Panthers got beat by Tampa Bay in 6 games, and the narrative that was thrown out there quite a bit was that Vasilevsky won the series. Well, I beg to differ. To me, the big difference in the series was that Tampa Bay was much more physical in the dirty areas, and their forwards were camping in front of Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight the entire series, whereas the Panther forwards were getting cleared out by those huge D-men of the Lightning. So the idea that either Bob is going to steal the series or Varlamov's going to steal the series for Washington, not convinced it's going to come down to that. To me, again, if I have one concern with the Panthers heading into the series, as much as goaltending, is are they still physical enough for the Stanley Cup playoffs, which is an entirely different game than the regular season for anybody who's going to jump out at me and go, well, they were the number 1 seed. They had this great regular season. Yes, they did. But it's a different game in the playoffs.
You're right. You're 1,000% right on that. I just would feel a little better if we had the one guy clearly ahead of the other guy, and that's what we don't have, and that still makes me very, very nervous. But you're right; they're going to have to be incredibly physical because they allow them to play when the playoffs start, dude. There's no doubt about that, and they start tomorrow. So there you go, good stuff. All right. So what'd you think of the draft? I mean, I know it's an abbreviated one. There's only a couple of picks, but what did you like about it?
Well, yeah, because if you're talking the draft, you have to include Tyreek Hill and you have to include Jalen Waddle because the number 15 pick, they would have had it had they not made the trade with the Eagles last year. And I'm still going to say that I wasn't crazy about that second trade, that the going down from 3 to 12 was brilliant. From where I sat, that going then from 12 to 6, I didn't like at all. Because if you look at the guys who were picked 12th and 13th, it was Micah Parsons and Rashawn Slater. So you could have had Jalen Waddle, or you could have had Micah Parsons and Rashawn Slater, one of those two, plus the 15th pick this year. And I'm sorry, there's not a Dolphins fan who can tell me with a straight face that they would take Waddle over the other package. Now, having said that, the Tyreek Hill, we're going to see how it plays out, but they gave up a lot to get him. With the idea is going to be a complete difference maker for the offense. So you start off with having only 4 picks, which, by the way, is the fewest ever in Dolphin history. There's only so much you can do. I like the pick of Channing Tindall a lot because he brings an element that was missing from the linebacker core outside of Jerome Baker, that they were lacking speed. He's going to give you that. At the very least, he's going to play a lot of special teams early on, and you can put him on the field in a package on defense alongside Baker. So I like that pick a lot. Didn't really get the Eric, and I'm going to butcher up Eric E. Pick in the 4th round. And then your 2 7th-rounders, you at that point you're basically taking shots, and seeing what you can get. So I mean, it wasn't a overly exciting weekend, but we knew it wasn't going to be because they just didn't have the draft ammunition.
Overall, when anything on the undrafted free agents that they signed?
No, they got a couple of very interesting guys like Verone McKinley III, who is one of Javon Holland's good friends and played with him at Oregon, who I wrote about when I went to the combine, spoke to him about Javon Holland. And he just doesn't rate as a great athlete, except he made a ton of plays. And McKinley is one of those guys like Javon Holland, who was always around the ball and made a lot of plays. Now, whether that can translate to the NFL, that's a question. Obviously, he certainly wasn't expected to be an undrafted free agent. He was expected to go 4th round was his neighborhood. Kellen Diesch, the tackle from Arizona State, another guy who was expected to go in that 4th round neighborhood. And you look at him on film, and you see him pulling from the left tackle spot at Arizona State, and he certainly looks the part of what you would want for a Mike McDaniel offensive lineman. So those are 2 guys who were very interesting to jump out among the large group of undrafted free agents. We got 14 now confirmed, like either through the school or their agencies or the players themselves. Yeah, no, don't ask me to do a deep dive on the cornerback from Texas A&M Commerce, other than I believe he ran like a 4.55 at his pro day.
I didn't even know there was a Texas A&M Commerce, bro. I
got you beat. I knew that. I got you beat. I knew about that school.
I had no idea. I was sure Texas A&M Commerce. Did somebody sneak in Commerce accidentally, and this kid plays for Texas A&M? And it's like Texas A&M Commerce. Like, what the hell is that, dude?
Yeah,
like, wow.
Not a Power 5 conference.
No. Yeah. What'd you think of the quarterback selection? At first, I was like, what the hell are they doing? But then when I started to think about it, well, Teddy's only here for a year. So, because he's probably going to want to try to compete somewhere else for a starting job or something if he doesn't do anything here, right? So you're only going to probably have him around for a year. You do need to develop a backup. So I kind of understand the method behind the madness, and he's an athlete, so you might be able to do a little something with him.
Yeah, and it makes you believe that for a change of the offense, they're going to keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster, or they're going to try to sneak him through waivers and get him back on the practice squad. Look, we get to the 7th round, and I've mentioned this before. You're looking for something unique, a unique trait, because if you're looking for a guy, generally speaking, just a solid football player, he's a 7th round pick for a reason. And this guy, I mean, looking at some of his tape, I get a little Jimmy Garoppolo little vibe when I look at him. Nothing overly special about the way he throws the arms. Nothing special, but he's got spunk, for lack of a better term, and he's mobile and he's feisty. It's also funny that he's actually older than the team's starting quarterback. He's going to turn 25 in June, and Tua just turned 24. So that's an interesting dynamic. But again, obviously, Mike McDaniel, Chris Greer, and the scouts see something in him that they feel they can work with. So taking a shot at quarterback in the 7th round, I have no issue with that. They did with Brandon Doughty in 2016, the guy put up crazy numbers at Western Kentucky. Oh, let's take a shot to see if his skill set can translate to the NFL. Well, it didn't, but it's a 7th round pick. Does anybody really bemoan the loss of that 7th round pick in 2016?
Well, and the Doughty thing, like this kid, what I'm being told is his potential is for backup quarterback. And that was the Doughty thing too, by the way. It wasn't like they weren't looking at Doughty to be the starter. They do try to groom backups too, by the way, just so you folks don't know out there. They actually try to do that in the NFL still, because the backup quarterback is still somewhat, he's not good enough to be a starter, but he might be good enough to keep the ship afloat for, a week or two. And so that's kind of what you're trying to find. So I don't have a problem trying to find a guy that maybe could be a backup for you down the line. Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that theory, because look around the NFL and you go back the last couple of years, most teams carry 2 quarterbacks, and that second guy's always a veteran. And he becomes a veteran because he's played in games. So the idea that you're going to like groom him on the practice squad or in practice.
Well, that's where they do it. That's where they do it early on. They try to do it on the practice squad the first year or two where they can stash him. And then eventually, if they can, bring him up as the number 2 guy.
Yeah, but then you got to get the game experience. I think to me, it's more of they see something that maybe can click and that they can work with and make him become. I don't think that you pick a 7th round. You pick a quarterback in the 7th round, thinking his ceiling is strictly as a backup. I think you think that very possibly might not pan out, but there's something there that maybe everything falls together and you got yourself a quarterback at some point.
Yeah, I think it's for me. I still think it's kind of backup because since it's such a long season, you're trying because sometimes you're going to need more than 2 guys. So maybe that's a guy that you might have to lean on down the line, and you're trying to groom him and that because you usually can't hide a veteran there on that practice squad anymore. No. You know what I'm saying? And that's what becomes the problem. So you have a young guy that you try to hide there for a little bit. By the way, did Reed Sinnett make it back onto the Philadelphia team after he got picked up?
I believe he's on their roster. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll have to double check, but my recollection is he's with them.
I actually liked him, man. I liked what I saw from him as a backup. Actually, overall, I thought he was all right. Anything else catch your eye from this weekend outside of the Jets doing a really good job? Unfortunately.
Yeah, they're going to be a problem sooner rather than later. This may be crazy and probably is, but if you're looking for a team that can make a big jump in 1 year overnight, I'd look to the Jets. I think because they had some good pieces before that.
Do you believe in Zach Wilson? That's the problem because I don't.
I think he's going to become a good quarterback. And if you notice, he was a lot better down to like the last month of the season than he was at a really bad stretch. Then he went out, and when he came back, cut down on the bad decisions and the interceptions. And there's tools there. So
I know there's tools. It just he looks still too raw to me. Like still looks like if he's still a couple years away of making some more mistakes until maybe the light goes on, if it's going to go on. Well, I don't see it this year turning on. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
He looked to me like a guy who tried to be a hero on every play, even though there's some plays that's completely not there. And I think that's fixable. And it's like, again, to me, I kind of saw the same things as I saw with Josh Allen. There's something there. And I do think he's gonna take a big step. And that team's got picked up some pieces all over the place. I think they could be problematic. The Dolphins, they beat them by 7 points each game, but then it didn't really feel like the Jets were a major threat either game. And then the previous year, the Dolphins smoked them. So let's say that's 4 games where you went into the game against the Jets thinking, yeah, it's not a problem. But I think the 2 games this year, the Dolphins actually are going to have to play good games to beat the Jets.
All right, they had a chance to sign, draft a couple centers in that 7th round, and they chose not to. And they passed on some centers in the 4th, and they passed some centers in the 7th that still were there. But they did bring on a couple of guys, and one that has played center in Clary from Arkansas. Now, I was trying to explain this to people. Just because they didn't get any linemen in the 7th round doesn't mean that the guys that they just signed now aren't as good as those 7th rounders, because unrestricted, undrafted free agents and 6th and 7th rounders, there's really not much of a difference there overall. But I thought you had, I think it was you that said it over the weekend, that you had that, you got to remember that Dieter wasn't terrible at any time during the year. That Austin Jackson, it was you, right? That Eichenberg and Jackson had terrible moments and terrible stretches. At no point was Dieter and Hunt ever terrible. They had maybe a couple of mistakes, but they were never terrible in a real glaring weakness like Jesse Davis was, like Eichenberg was, like Austin Jackson was. So is that why you think they weren't that aggressive?
Of course, I think they think a lot more highly of Michael Dieter than a lot of fans do, and some media members do. And even to this point, I'm seeing like the Dolphins, or they fail to address their offensive line. I don't know that the Dolphins see their offensive line as much of a crying need as a lot of people do, and Dieter is part of that. And to me, Dieter was fine when he played last year. I didn't have a major issue. What I saw from him as a rookie in 2019. When if we're talking about offensive lines, everybody's dumping on last year. Well, the 2019 offensive line was terrible too. And Dieter played guard, and it certainly looked like a guy who wasn't strong enough. Well, that was 2 years ago. And this is a guy who was a very good player at Wisconsin. So I think there's something to work with there, and we really expect, just because maybe it's a name in college at a 7th round pick, or a UDFA is going to come in and automatically he's better than Dieter. I don't think so. So to me, it's going to be Dieter, or they go in free agency and in the second wave and see if somebody's out there, and maybe they make a run on JC Treader, even though I'm not sure that's going to happen. But that's one possibility. I don't see a young player being the choice over Michael Dieter at this point.
So what is it with Treader? Money, knees? Well, what the hell is going on, dude? Because he's a little better. He's a little better player than you would expect to be available in this second wave, actually. So it's just like kind of odd that,
no, I think a combination of the fact that, from what I understand, he didn't practice last year, basically showed up in games because he's got knee issues. Are those chronic and potentially more problematic, moving forward? Does he want too much money? All of those could be factors. I mean, we saw like Tyrann Mathieu didn't sign until today, and Tyrann Mathieu is a hell of a player. So
yeah.
And there's also a lot of big names still left out there. So, certain things will happen in time. I would suspect that Treader is going to sign with somebody at some point. Who knows? Maybe it's the Dolphins.
$20 million still under the cap, so they've got a lot of flexibility. All right, what are you working on Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out?
Well, today I think the main focus is going to be I called out for questions for a mailbag and got a ton of them, so we're going to dive into those. I haven't written a column with my overall thoughts on what the Dolphins did in the draft. I'm not a big fan of giving out draft grades, even though it's weird because some people bitch about them. It's like, well, you can't judge a draft until 3 years on the roll. Yeah, no shit, but. We still have a right to express how we feel.
But I mean, to give a grade to this draft, oh my God, it's just, dude. But you have to, third and fourth and 2 7th rounders. It's really hard to give a grade for. I give it an A just because you got me my linebacker. That's it, dude. Whatever Eric or the other 2 7th rounders do, in my eyes, this is like a icing on the cake. If the linebacker works out, this becomes a hell of a draft already as it is. I know we got to include Tyreek Hill and all that other crap, but I'm just saying, as of the 4 draft picks, if the linebacker hits, that's all I care about, dude. If Eric becomes a player, then that becomes a monster bonus. You hit out of 2 of the 4? Are you kidding me? That's awesome. And they're 3rd and 4th rounders?
Correct. To me, I go like, value. What's the player going to become? Could there have been a different position that maybe would have been addressed? Like, I go back to Eric. I didn't see a screaming need for a wide receiver, and he wasn't necessarily a guy. It wasn't like great value. It wasn't like a first rounder. It wasn't like grabbing Nakobe Dean, even if you had a good linebacker.
Right.
So that one was a little weird to me. The Channing Tindall move I loved. And then the 2 7th rounders, you're taking a shot, and if either one pans out, it's a major bonus.
Yep, I'm with you there. All Dolphins at Sports Illustrated. Make sure you follow it there. Bookmark that baby, and you'll get all of his articles, and follow him on Twitter. You see it right there at Poopart NFL for those of you listening on the podcast. Alan, as always, thank you, my friend. We'll catch up later in the week.
You got it. Sounds good, Big O.
You got it. There you go. Le Expose. That's our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupard, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza.
Thank you out there. Happy birthday to the people born in May. Very nice of you, Marvin. He says, it's my birthday month, May 27th. Well, Marvin, happy early birthday, and we'll wish you birthday again in the 27th. And maybe you should, by the way, get some Edge energy drink. Oh, right there. There you go. myedgedrink.com. You can get 10% off if you use my code Big O. Delicious, 0 aftertaste, 78 calories. Yes, I'm telling you. What are you waiting for? Get a little Edge energy drink. Oh, and it's so good as an elixir. When I get home, I'm looking forward to mixing a little Edge and a little Grey Goose vodka. So good. Yeah. I could use a drink or two. Haven't had a drink or two yet. But really, seriously, you want one that's like delicious, smooth, and 0 aftertaste, which, you know, most of these energy drinks have an aftertaste. 0 aftertaste. Edge energy drink. myedgedrink.com, and tell them that Big O sent you. DJ Gallagher, thank you for the love. He says, I've seen the best coverage of the draft, 10 plus hours of live radio ever, Big O. Kept us informed, entertained, rock solid. Sean, amazing remote tech work. No issues for the 3 days plus amazing. Well, Sean is amazing. And the open for the show. Did you guys see the open that he created for the show? Do you have the opens there?
I have to flip over. You're gonna get one.
You should see. If you guys didn't watch any of the shows over the weekend, he did a great job, obviously, mastering the whole thing. But he, you know, we went through Vegas and we got all kinds of B-roll and Fremont Street and driving through the Strip and all that. And we got a lot more B-roll yesterday from all kinds of places that we went and all that. And so he was able to incorporate a lot of that stuff with some of the opens, the selections, and then after the open of the draft show itself. And I thought Sean produced a beautiful open. You got them ready?
Got one ready, yeah.
All right, let's see one of them, just in case if you didn't see it. Go ahead, fire it off.
The Miami Dolphins select Xavier Howard, defensive back from Baylor.
The Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Alabama.
The Miami Dolphins select Jalen Waddle, wide receiver.
Live from Las Vegas at Tommy Rocker's Mojave Beach Grill, it's the Sloman's Home Security NFL Draft Show with a Big O. Draft fans, call Sloman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME to protect your home with a company that's been serving Americans for nearly 100 years. When you want to protect your home, family, or business, you call Sloman's at 1-800-ALARM-ME. When you want the best Miami Dolphins insight and insiders on the planet, you tune in to the Big O. Here's Orlando Alzugari and the Sloman's Home Security NFL Draft Show.
How good was that, huh? That was sweet. That was a sweet ass open, man. That was very nice. Very nice. Excellent work by Sean Stanley. You, sir, deserve an Edge energy drink for that because you give us the edge every day on the air. Come on, man. Drop it in. Drop some love for Sean. Drop some super chat love for Sean is what you guys should do. Okay? Super chat love right now for Sean. That's what he deserves. Jamorzik, it's not always the queen's moves that win the game. You have to effectively move your pawns as well. I don't know what the hell's going on with that one. Let's see. What do we have here? What's up, Big O? Sorry I'm late. Just glad to be tuning in. We freaking killed the undrafted signing free agents. Well, I hope we do, man. I listen, knowing these guys, I wouldn't be surprised if one or two of these guys catch on to this team and actually make an impact. Let's see. Franklin Valverde says, did you see the Christ of the Redeemer with the Dolphins covers? Yes, I did. Sean, did you do that editing for me so I can put it on the because I'm trying to edit it where I can put the whole Christ the Redeemer right inside my Twitter profile so it fits inside the circle. And I tried to do it, but I'm not very good or savvy with that kind of crap. So I'm hoping that Sean can fix it for me. By the way, we also filmed a video for you guys in the Pinball Hall of Fame, and we're going to put it together. It'll be on the YouTube page. So I took a tour of the whole Pinball Hall of Fame. By the way, they moved it. It is not on Tropicana Avenue anymore. It's right on the strip on Las Vegas Boulevard, but it's on the south end of the strip, and it's like 2 blocks away from the Mandalay Bay. In other words, it's across the street from the Las Vegas sign. There's a Harley Davidson dealership literally across from the Hollywood sign and from the Las Vegas sign. And a lot of people usually park right there at the Harley Davidson thing and go across the street to take a picture. Well, the Pinball Hall of Fame is right next door to the Harley. So you can actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because while I don't drive motorcycles, I love going into the Harley shops, because I always end up buying something and all that kind of stuff. Look at Boss B. Super chat love for Sean. There we go. Look at Sean Stanley. Is that the one? You finally edited for me?
No, that's not the edited one. That's just so.
Okay.
Because somebody said that the only thing wrong was the cloudy picture. So
Right, exactly. They finally, I guess at night, the clouds had, gone away, and so they were able to do it. So I want to put that inside my Twitter profile. First of all, I want to thank a shit ton of you out there that you sent me because I kept saying I want a picture of the Christ the Redeemer in the Dolphins colors, and a ton of you sent me the picture. So thank you. I got them on Facebook DM, on Twitter DM, on LinkedIn DM, on email at bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. You sent them all over the place. Wherever it is that we have, communicated with each other, you guys sent them all over, man. Thank you all. Thank you all out there. Very nice of you. So cool. There you go. And a little super chat in there for a little love for Sean. What else do we have here? Getting some good jobs, Sean. Florida born in Kentucky grew. That was awesome. Good job, Sean, by Ronald. Well done by Eddie Lepp. Zo Vegas. The only thing that sucked was how cloudy it was when they announced it. Yeah, it did suck. Sean putting in that work always does, man. Big O Mr. Jamorzik was talking about the 3rd and 5th round picks not becoming Pro Bowlers. That's why I said the pawn moves are always, yeah. I mean, but you don't know if they're going to be Pro Bowlers or not. You have no idea. None of us know anything about these players. These young guys, we have no idea how good they can be. You know what I'm saying? So I just let's slow down. Let's just wait. let's wait a year and see if we see anything from these undrafted guys, from these 7th rounders, 4th rounder, and we'll get a better feel. The 3rd rounder, you kind of expect to make an impact already this year. So, is Omar today? No, tomorrow is Omar. Today, all we have left is Marcel Louis Jacques, and he'll join us at 12:30. Join us in a couple minutes. In fact, why don't we do this? Let's take a really quick break here. Do want to remind you, EJD Construction is a proud sponsor of our program. We've been telling you about EJD Construction for many years now. They've been a sponsor of ours, and we love Eric, the great people at EJD Construction. And it's not just he's not a handyman. Don't call him because, hey, I gotta, fix my door handle. No. This is about, an addition to your home. You want to build an extra room or two. You want to build out a backyard where you have a full, patio with roof and kitchen, and you want to barbecue out there. You want to create a creative man cave, a wall of TVs and, stadium seating and that kind of stuff. You call EJD Construction. You want to redo and modernize that kitchen. You call EJD Construction. That's what we've been telling you about for a long, long time. So call the great people at EJD Construction. Eric has been at this for, 20 years. They've earned a AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. They're people that you can trust. Go to the website, ejdconstruction.com. And again, I'm not talking about a handyman. So please, because sometimes you guys call them and you say, well, no, I need to get, a little item fixed. And, he's not about that. And he's very polite and very nice and tells you, hey, we don't do that kind of work and everything. So if you want to really rebuild that home, okay, expand, maybe the family is growing, go to the website. You can check it out, ejdconstruction.com.
Get locked out in the worst moments of your life.
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed. They're breaking into my house! Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV.
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them.
With Sloman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation.
Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider Marcel Louis-Jacques.
There he is, the man giving us the edge every week. Yes, sir. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Only 78 calories. Order it. myedgedrink.com. And, of course, use my code Big O, and you will get 10% off. So get shipping, 10% off in your order. Get it, baby. How you feeling, man? You feeling good?
Feeling good. This is probably the most relaxed I've ever felt post-draft. The most rested I've ever felt post-draft, man. Want to say thank you to the Dolphins for only 4 picks. Made life a little bit easier. Even if they tried to get a little spicy there at the end with the quarterback. You know, it's kind of funny how that worked out. We got Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel. Basically what they did is they sent the pick in and then went right downstairs to speak with us in the interview room so that after the draft they can start making out calls to UDFAs. And so they're on their way to the room when we find out that it's going to be Skylar Thompson. They picked a quarterback. And, like, it's one of those moments, man. I love the draft because, like, generally everybody is sitting together. Everybody's in the same kind of room. And so you're just experiencing breaking news and certain moments together. There's a lot of camaraderie involved in it. But, you know, we can get to Skylar Thompson in a minute. Bottom line is, long story short, I'm feeling great, man. I feel like I actually got to rest this weekend. I haven't got to do that in about 3-4 years.
Yeah, speak for yourself. I had to do 20 hours of broadcasting, so we actually.
Oh man, you're in Vegas. That's a shame, man. That's sounds like a tough life, man. Like you hate to hear that. It happens to the best people.
Well, it starts now, Vegas, for me. Really, the last 3 days, I wasn't doing anything. Trust me. When you got to talk that much, you can't go F around, bro. You can't.
Honestly, I couldn't imagine, man. Like I say maybe I have like 5-6 conversations a day and I'm spent, man. Like that's and then I got to tap into my overdrive. So I couldn't imagine, man. That takes a real pro.
Yeah, well, I don't know about a real pro, but maybe a maniac or something like that. But yeah, I know the relaxing starts now for me. Now that I can only do one show and it's, you know, regular 3 hours, and after that I've got the rest of the day. I'm used to that. I'm normal. That's in my wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? But 20 hours in 3 days, it's a hell of a lot of talking, dude. So yeah, it's one of those deals. All right, so what'd you think? Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna ask you to grade something that's only a couple of picks in the first ones in the damn third round, but I guess it's, in a way, I kind of feel very successful because I really love the Tyndall pick. And so they really needed if there was one position that there was like a sore spot, was the middle linebacker spot, and they filled it.
Yeah, and I said this on Saturday. I really did like the Tyndall pick. It felt like anytime you can find the perfect intersection between need and BPA, you're in for a quality pick, and I think that is what Channing Tyndall provided there at 102. A lot of speed. You know, of course, I've been saying a long time, you got to go chase around Josh Allen for the next 10 years. You need to be adding as much speed as possible. Throwing him in the middle of the field allows you to keep Jalen Phillips, as more of an edge rusher. Same with Egvon and Van Ginkel. Allows you to keep Jerome Baker on the outside, which is what I believe Miami prefers. And again, it just overall, it raises the athleticism, the level of athleticism you have with your defense, makes you more multiple, gives you a little bit more versatility in what you can do with your linebackers. Love the Tyndall pick. The more I thought about the rest of the picks, though, I mean, you only have 4, and it's not like you're going to find potential starters with all 4 picks, right? I mean, you got 125, you got 224, and you got 247. Historically, that's not where you're finding, impact players in the draft. So, but the more I think about the Eric Ezukanma pick, I could be proven wrong. He could end up being a great receiver and a great 4th option in the passing game, 5th option in the passing game. Let's be honest here. I mean, like, he's not going to overtake Hill. He's not going to overtake Waddle. He's not going to overtake Gesicki. I would argue he's not going to overtake Wilson in the pecking order. And then I would put the 2 running backs, as in terms of where you're getting targets or where your targets are going, I would put the 2 running backs ahead of him as well. So it is kind of it feels like a luxury pick there. But with Tom from Wake Forest still on the board at 125, I feel like they could have addressed another need in their interior offensive line. They could have got a guy with center and guard flexibility there, and really tapped into even what Greer called was the best overall position group in the 2022 draft class. So I'm not willing to say it was a wasted pick, but I do think they could have done better with that pick. I think they could have gone another direction, and I would feel maybe more comfortable with it in that spot. And then,
now they may think the Ty Clary kid is just as good. So they said, well, we'll just wait till after the draft and we'll get that kid. And maybe. And again, 6th, 7th rounders and undrafted free agents are the same. There's really no difference.
I'm not really I think Cameron Good, if you found yourself a rotational pass rusher in the 6th round or the 7th round, then round of applause to you. That I'm not going to criticize that. The Skylar Thompson pick was, again, a little weird on the surface, but in all reality, it's a 7th round. Like, who cares?
Well,
it's not like
I'm with you. I thought it was weird, right? And then I thought about it. Well, Bridgewater's only here for a year. So maybe they stash him on the practice squad. They develop him. And if they like anything about him, then if they can't bring Bridgewater back next year, he becomes the backup. So I kind of understand the method behind the madness. Plus, he's a little bit of an athlete. So you might be able to do some wildcat crap with him outside of, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it, but people do it in this damn league, and so I don't know if that's what
he is not going to make that 53-man roster, and y'all can throw it in my face if he does at the end of August. Bridgewater is a lot. You're not keeping 3. You're not keeping 3 quarterbacks. So I think he does. I think he gets cut, and they bring him back in as a practice squad quarterback. So I wouldn't expect him to get much wildcat action in this year. But, Marty Herney, the former GM for the Panthers, I believe he's the current GM in Washington, once told me, like, you get quarterbacks whenever you can, because, one of a few things is going to happen. Either they're so good that they end up starting for you at a lower cost than your current starter does. They're good, not better than your starter, but they're good enough to trade and get value back for. Or you spend a mid to late round pick on a guy and he doesn't work out, and you keep pushing and get another one the next year. So, like, there's no true lose scenario when you draft a quarterback, like an auxiliary quarterback. You draft a QB when you already have a starter in place. So I'm not that mad at it. Reading certain draft grades and recaps from around the NFL or from around the country, I've seen it being called a wasted pick. I don't think it's as much of a wasted pick as the Ezukanma pick might end up being if he can't crack the rotation and their depth at offensive line ends up biting them in the ass. But it was just like you shrug your shoulders, oh, wow. And then you actually think about it for 5 seconds and realize it's really not that big a deal. You get a quarterback in the 7th round, whatever, man. He might make some couple plays in the summer. He's not going to make the roster. Respectfully, he's not going to make the roster. Maybe you groom him along as a practice squad QB. And like you said, maybe he develops so much that he takes over as a backup in 2023.
By the way, do you know what Marty Herney's background is?
Let me know.
Media.
Actually, I did know that. He worked for the Washington Times. The other paper in Washington, not the Post, the conservative one, Washington Times. I did know that, actually.
One of us crossed over and became a general manager in the NFL.
Man, what a life, right? I don't know. I play a lot of Madden. I tend to win a few Super Bowls. Maybe I can make that leap. Maybe I can talk to Chris.
Some people don't know that about Marty, that he's actually a media guy. He wasn't a football guy or, per se, football background, and he climbed the ladder to that position. He got to that position in a completely, unorthodox way. As for the Ezukan kid, I'm going to go with this. They see, it's what I've been telling everybody that keeps getting into this whole Deebo Samuel bullshit. They're not getting Deebo Samuel. It's unrealistic. They're not going to add that salary. And they don't need Deebo Samuel because they've already added Deebo Samuel in 6 different people. And Ezukama is another dimension of Deebo Samuel. And that's what I see in this kid, that if they can add another dimension, a big physical guy coming out of the backfield and running into linebackers and all of that, which is what he kind of does because he's got a big body. So that's what I'm seeing. This is what McDaniel's doing. He says, I'm not going to have one guy play the Deebo Samuel role. I'm just going to use Waddle in this role today, and then Cedric in this down, and then I'm going to use Mostert doing his, and that's how it's going to be. All these guys, Alec Ingold is going to do some of the things that Deebo Samuel did. That's how he's going to attack people.
Speaking of Deebo Samuel, I do still think that there's something deeper involved than the report that he just doesn't want to play the receiver running back hybrid role. But I mean, you want to trade for Deebo Samuel only for him to not do the role that made him Deebo Samuel? I don't know. I think it's a little bit of fool's gold. Like, God bless whoever trades for him. I don't like the injury history dating all the way back to South Carolina. I don't like
anybody playing that position for a long time, my brother. There's no way I'm giving you money to play that position. That's crazy.
And I don't like
running backs.
I don't like paying 20+ million. I don't like playing 20+ million to 2 guys at the same position. You know what I mean? Like, that is it's asking a lot. That's just, I don't think it's an appropriate use of funds. So the dream is dead. And you have to give a Waddle. Like, there's no way that the Niners say, yeah, here, take Deebo for what? 2 first-round picks and not get Jalen Waddle back? You're going to lose out on a guy that Dolphins fans have been ecstatic about for 2 years. So just let's kill that. It's done. It's canceled. Like, enough of that. But no, as he might be, and like, you can't have too many receivers. I think that is a problem that maybe plagued the Chiefs these past couple of years as they've tried to win another Super Bowl. Is they're not adding enough talent at receiver, and so when one guy goes down, if Kelsey is hurt or unproductive, if Tyreek Hill is hurt or unproductive, then you saw them that core struggle a little bit, and you really saw how thin it was this offseason before they drafted Sky Moore. They trade away Tyreek Hill, and all of a sudden it's who? Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster now with the little Mecole Hardman.
Come on. Nicole Hardman's going to carry the entire offense. What's wrong with
Mecole Hardman just runs a 4.2 and was wide open every time he touched the field. Like, I'm not banking on him as a high value
Hall
receiver.
of Famer? No, not a Hall of Famer.
I liked him coming out of Georgia, but no, like, so I don't think you have too many receivers. Just like, you can't have too many edge rushers. So, like, in theory, like, yeah, it is cool. It's cool that they added another receiver and they're adding more depth to this position group and all of that. And 4th round pick, like, it'd be a disaster if he doesn't make the roster. I expect him to make the 53, but I don't see.
And by the way, you got to look at special teams.
Well, that's what I was about to get to. I think
if Eazy-E is a flyer or some kind of a returner, then that Eazy-E is staying here. And plus, by the way, he's got one of the best nicknames on the damn team now. Eazy-E. I mean, come on, bro.
That's what I was getting to, man, is that, special teams is going to be his fastest way to the field. And it sounds like they're making that clear. Greer's made that clear. McDaniel made that clear. So, I don't think I don't hate the pick. I don't dislike the pick. I'm just saying that I would maybe like it a little bit more if they went with, was that Cameron Tom out of Wake Forest and they addressed a need right around the time. I mean, he only went like 15, 20 picks later. So you address a need with a guy who's kind of slated to go in that rough position. So it's not like you're reaching. But either way, it's hard to criticize too much before you even see these kids take the field. They got rookie camp, I want to say May 17th or 13th is when it starts. We'll get a lot better idea of what these guys can do.
And by the way, for Mike Jamorzek that I see on the chat board, he says, as Ukama within 2 years, Devontae Parker, sir, they let go of Devontae Parker because he doesn't fit what they do. If Azukama becomes Devontae Parker, he will not be on this team.
Yeah,
that's not what they. That's
I don't think
that's
they want
not
him
what
to
they
be
need.
Parker.
They don't. They're not. You don't understand. They've changed the scheme, sir. So what they want in Azukama is what he does: the 10 rushes for 138 yards, the 13 yards a rush. That's what they like. They like a big dude that can run and break some tackles out in the open field, and he'll catch the ball, catch a bubble screen, catch a crossing route. That's what he's going to be doing. He's going to be doing things that Debo did, and that's how he's going to feel. But it's what also Marcel was saying. He has to also make an impact on special teams. If not, he won't find his way on the field because the roster spot will not be enough for him to be a part Debo. In order for him to be a part of the Debo slice, he has to be a kick-ass special teamer. So look for him to either be a flyer or some kind of a returner, but he must be an impactful player. Plus, by the way, if you notice in his highlights also, Marcel, he likes to block. And that's one of the things that they like in their running game is a guy that can block. So it gives them a little help there in the second dimension.
Yeah, I'm just kind of I'm reading a comment here that Izukama is basically Jakeem Grant. No, he's not. He hasn't returned kicks.
No, he's not Jakeem Grant either. He's not Devontae Parker, and he's not Jakeem Grant. Wow, God bless.
Yeah, he has not returned kicks since high school. I checked. I did the research. He's not a returner. Maybe they turn him into one. Who knows? But
maybe
that's not his current role. I think
flyer,
more of a gunner, like Mac Hollins replacement. I'd see more Mac Hollins play. But no, what I like is that everybody on this offense is basically a threat with the ball in their hands, and that wasn't the case over the past 2 years. I think that anybody, and when they line up, anybody is a threat to jet sweep and get the ball out of the backfield. Anybody is a threat to take a screen pass 20, 30 yards. Anybody is a threat to do some damage with the rock in their hands. And it's a track meet right now on offense. And Ezukama is not a burner per se. I think 4.5 speed, which at 6'2" is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not calling him slow.
Yeah, no,
he's not.
He moves good.
Yeah, he's not Tyreek Hill. He's not 4.2, 4.3 speed, but like 4.5, that's fast enough to get behind a flat-footed defensive back. So I think he's good enough. He's hard to take down. I think that, he's got a shot at developing into a short yardage receiver this season. Big body, uses his frame to box out, can go make tight contested catches. I don't particularly like that archetype. Like, I don't like calling guys, contested catch receivers, 50-50 guy. Like, that's a little bit archaic. It's a little archaic because separation matters more.
But it's a
separation
skill.
matters.
No, but it's a skill that you can catch in traffic. That is a skill that a lot of guys don't have, Marcel, because they don't have the toughness to stay in the middle of that traffic and still hang on to the ball. So the guys that do have those vice grips for hands in traffic, those guys.
There's a difference. There's a difference between it being a skill and being the skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between for Devontae Parker, that is his skill. Like, his skill is contested catches.
You're right.
I don't like that. If you can make contested catches, like Hill can make contested catches. I think I saw Jalen Waddle last year go up over the top of somebody's head. If you can, awesome. That's a great complementary skill.
You want it to be a trait.
It's a trait, not a identity. Let's go like that. It should be a trait, not your identity. So, a lot of people wanted that big body receiver, that red zone threat. That is done. Like, that's mid 2000s football. We're in the 2020s now, baby. You separate, you can get open. That's what matters first. You make some magic happen after the catch. That's what matters first. And then if you can go over the top of somebody's head, gravy on top. It's a cherry on top. But the Sunday's
Yeah,
going to survive without the cherry.
For that, you use your tight end to have that trait, is what you say. Is, in other words, you want your receivers to get separation, but you want your tight end to have the trait of getting a little separation and to be able to go up in the air to go get the ball. But your receivers, in general, you want them to be worried more about getting some separation, which is something, by the way, that Miami had pretty much none of outside of Waddle last year.
I mean, literally not. Outside of Waddle for the past 2 years, Miami receivers are dead last in the NFL in average yards of separation at the time of the catch. It is a massive problem. And I mean, oh man, like, you're my witness. These good people in the comments are my witnesses. Like, I've been saying it for 2 months that this coaching staff came in here and they saw playmakers in skill position or playmakers at receiver as big of a problem, if not more, than the offensive line, which is why we've seen a completely revamped room over the past couple of months. You know, sometimes you just got to weather the storm, let people call you crazy, and the truth will come out in the end. But it's a completely different receiver room than we've seen in years past. We'll see if it works. We'll see how they operate and mesh on the field. But on paper, I mean, it's night and day from what we saw in 2020 and 2021. So, yeah, that's I learned that, you know, back with Cam Newton, because you remember the whole idea with building receivers around him was, let's go get Devin Funchess, let's go get Kelvin Benjamin, let's go get these long, wide catch radius. But it don't matter if he can't get open. Kelvin Benjamin can't get open.
Well, by the way, part of why they got the guys with range also is because he is inaccurate. So they needed guys that could.
Well, not necessarily the case.
Have a little more wingspan.
Not the case. Look at the 2018 season. Their main receivers were, I want to say, Torrey Smith, were DJ Moore, and then of course Christian McCaffrey. These guys aren't wide, big body receivers. They're just 5'9", 5'10" guys who get open fast. And he was on pace for the best season of his career in terms of efficiency until his shoulder just completely gave out. I watched it. I seen it with my own eyes. So he's a different quarterback. And that's what let me know catch radius doesn't matter anymore. It's all about separation.
Hey, listen, everybody, let's say the sun shines on every dog's ass every once in a while, and you get in a groove and you play out of your mind. You know, 1 year Michael Vick had like a 62% completion percentage when he was always in the 50s or something like that. But Andy Reid got him 1 year and got him up to like 62, which was like an amazing feat. So everybody has their moments, but he was never an accurate. Cam Newton was never known as an accurate passer. Okay?
No, he's not like a pinpoint passer, but he's not.
By the way, to bring it full circle, that wasn't a trait of his. Okay.
We're not gonna, I'm not gonna call Cam a pinpoint passer, but he's not so inaccurate that you need guys with 8-foot wingspans, or else.
I'm not telling you he's like Glennon, but I'm just saying, you know.
But yeah, I mean, and that's, you know, to localize it a little bit here. Excuse me, Tua is an accurate passer, especially the intermediate part of the field. And that's why I keep saying I think that this is going to work. I don't know if I'm not on your side when you're saying he's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year. Like, by
the way, Tua was either number 1 or number 2 on deep balls, also, not just intermediate. You know,
he also threw the fewest amount of those deep balls last year in the NFL.
Well, he's on his ass and they can't block and can't run. I'm not blaming him for that. Okay, I mean, you know, come on.
Like, I'm not, but I'm just saying, like, context matters here. Like, he can throw the deep ball a little bit, but let's see how it works.
Receivers with no separation. You can't have them both there, Marcel.
Let's see how it works over a longer period of time with a wider sample size. But like I said, I think this is going to work. It's not like you're just going to be sending Waddle and Hill downfield and Ezukama downfield. They're not running 4 verts all game long. Like, it's still going to be more or less the same passing scheme that we saw last year, which was heavy in the intermediate part of the field. I just, you know, ideally they won't have to run so much RPO in order to freeze those linebackers and kind of manufacture passing lanes. You know, ideally, teams have to respect the run. Teams can't just bull rush this.
What you're trying to say is that ideally, play design will actually come into play finally for this team, because there was no play design. There was no method behind the madness. They weren't setting people up from one series to another, from one down to another. This dude, this maniac, that's how he thinks. He's a cerebral guy. So he's going to get them thinking. He's going to get linebackers and corners out of place and linemen out of place, because he's going to do things to make it easier for his players, which is usually what great coaches do. Coaches are the ones that like design stuff to make it a little easier for the player so they can go out there and have some success.
Yeah, I remember last year, man, when I knew for a fact that this team didn't even know what its identity was. At first, I thought maybe they know what they're trying to do, but they're just not able to do it. But when I knew that this team didn't even know what it's trying to do was after, I think it was the Tennessee game, and Tua told us, yeah, you know, what we try to do, we try to establish the run. It's like, nah, bro, you guys are not on the same page. Like, this is what happens when you have 4 offensive coordinators. Like, you are not, there's no way you're trying to establish the run. There's no way. You cannot convince me that the worst running team in the NFL identifies as a run-first team. There's no, absolutely not. So I think, you know, this year maybe they will try to establish the run. Like, maybe I think they've got the horses to do it. They got the guys to do it. You know, maybe with a little better offensive line development and scheme and blocking scheme, we're going to see a different Dolphins offense. But again, like it's on paper, it's a lot more exciting than it has been in the past 2 years. Now it's time for the play calling genius to earn that little $30 million contract and, you know, earn all that Twitter goodwill and grassroots effort on social media that he's been doing over the past couple months, because he's a very likable guy. Very likable. I mean, man, we're sitting in that room on Saturday night, and it was like an old buddy cop TV show between him and Greer, talking about, yeah, this guy's crushing sushi. Oh, yeah, this guy drinks more cherry Pepsi than I can imagine. In-N-Out's overrated. What are we saying? Like, it was the loosest I have ever seen a GM and coach press conference.
Oh, you know, well, because that the Patriot way is out the effing door, bro. That's why, because you had a sourpuss there that just didn't, you know, it's like the guy never wanted to have any kind of fun, never loosen up a little bit. And
this is Miami, man.
You're covering, you get to cover human beings, Marcel. Good for you.
I don't get it. Like, why would you? This is Miami, man. Like, how are you going to recruit guys to Miami and say, all right, come to Paradise and play disciplinarian football? Oh, like, come to Paradise. Come on over to South Florida. Relax. You got a coach that's going to let you be yourself. He knows what he's talking about. He wants to do the best for you, but you're not going to be out here with the whip cracking over your head. But I think it's a lot looser, and it meshes with the overall vibe of what South Florida is about. So, like, either way, he's bought a lot of goodwill in the offseason. He's still got to earn it on the field, but he's got the pieces to do so.
2 words for you, young man. Miami Heat. You can have discipline. You can do the Harlem Shake, and you can still win a championship. You know what I'm saying? You can Jimmy Butler pump, and you can still win. You know what I'm saying? The Miami Heat do it with discipline, because they put you on a scale every day to weigh you, to make sure where your body fat is. Okay, so the Miami Heat does it with discipline, but they also do it with fun too at the same time, because they allow you to have fun after you've worked your ass off and put yourself. The problem with Flo was there was never any fun involved in it. You know what I'm saying?
Whereas that's what I'm saying. The Dolphins weren't Harlem shaking. Already this offseason, you know those little videos? I think the Jets like to do it a lot. The Bills used to do them, where you film players running off the practice field, and then there's a little sign that says, who's the funniest player on the team? Which player would you not want to date your sister? We're already seeing fun content out of Miami. They just did that a couple of days ago. I ain't seen none of that last year.
Of course not.
Granted, it's not funny when you're losing 7 in a row. Like, I don't think anybody cares who the funniest guy on the team is. But
right, of course.
It's just it's a different regime. It's a different feel. It is clearly a different feel. You know, devil's advocate, I'm not 100% sure that 100% of the guys are on board with it yet. You know, maybe they're just not comfortable with
winning.
Winning is good. I think I've said that on the show before. You can do whatever you want as long as it does not impact the work. As long as the work and the production is not impacted, you can act whatever you want to off the field. As long as they know that on the field you're going to bring it, the criticism is going to go by.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, what are you working on over at ESPN so folks can check you out?
Man, I'm F1 reporter Marcel Louis-Jacques at this point, so preparing for the biggest weekend in Miami. I wish I could throw on a couple more hats. I know we got the Heat and Panthers playoffs starting.
Break it down for me. What chances does Michael Schumacher have of winning the F1?
So what I know about F1 is that the cars go fast. It's not exactly a circle. It's not like NASCAR. There's a couple other turns. You gotta propagate your speed and whatnot. But no, I'm more boots on the ground than actual F1 reporting, man. I want to talk about how this race got here, what's setting it apart. From what I'm hearing, I've had a couple conversations with people who have brought this race to town. It is going to be more like Disney World than an F1 race. What they want is they don't want you to sit in your seats and then just say, okay, this is my view of the race. This is my view from the stands. I stay here all the time. They want you to go to this zone and this shopping center and this interactive area. It's going to be like the Miami Open on steroids, how there's so many places for you to go and so many restaurants and booths for you to try. So it's going to be a great time. I'm excited for the atmosphere. It's going to be a lot of people in town. So that is my deal for the next week. And then I put my Dolphins hat right back on next week.
So you can't tell me if Michael Schumacher is going to win.
I'm going to say Lewis Hamilton or Danny Ricciardo.
By the way, Schumacher's retired. He's no longer an F1. I just wanted to F1 you. That's all I wanted to do.
Hey, I watched 3 episodes of Drive to Survive. I will get there when I get there. But like I said, I'm boots on the ground for now.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. And of course, order it delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste Edge energy drink. And get 10% off with my code Big O at myedgedrink.com. The best energy drink on the planet. Marcel, thank you. We'll catch up later in the week.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. See you Thursday.
You got it. Be good. There you go. It's Marcel Louis-Jacques.
You now have the edge on the Miami Dolphins with the Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins Report featuring ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques. Get the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste. You can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com.
It would have been so classic if Marcel would have got, I think Michael has a shot in this race. It would have been awesome. How long's Michael been retired? Like 10 years? 5? No, not 5. Like 7, 10, 12 years, right?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since Schumacher has been retired, but it would have been great because you can tell he doesn't know anything about F1. I don't know anything about F1. I do know Michael Schumacher is retired, okay? That guy won like a whole bunch of F1 championships, man. He dominated, dude. Holy crap. But it would have been great if he would have said, no, I've been doing some, I think Schumacher's got a chance. That would have been awesome.
15 years.
What's that?
He retired in the 2006 season.
Wow, it's been since 2006? It's been that long? Wow, time flies, dude. I thought maybe 10 years max. Wow, that's a long time. Damn.
Hold on, I might have lied to you.
No, hold on, what? Huh? Michael had a horrible accident and is not in the public eye. Well, I didn't know that. I'm not sure about that. Again, I'm not an F1 expert or anything. I know who Michael Schumacher is because obviously I follow enough of it to know. But I also know he's retired, and I also know he's, a god in that sport. He was one of the best, obviously. But that's why
he retired in 2006, but then he came back 2009, and then he left again in 2012.
Oh, okay. So he came back in 2009, left in 2012. So that makes it 10 years. Yeah. All right. I got close. Schumacher, his son is racing, Big O. He had a bad accident 2 weeks ago. Really? Oh, I did not know that. Again, I'm not an F1 guy, so I can't tell you, oh my God, I follow and know inside and out. You know what I mean? My sad. Tough biz, man. They might have preferred a faster spy type linebacker, especially for playing Josh Allen. Perfect cue. I see Tyndall as having a higher ceiling overall than Chanel. I thought that Tyndall would be the better spy than Chanel. And Tyndall does do that, actually. I love Chanel, actually. I think he's a freaking tackling machine, sideline to sideline, everything. I like him a lot. I like both guys. But it seemed like Tyndall might be the guy that's a little faster. So maybe that's why you got him, because he can spy Josh Allen, which is what you want with him. By the way, Nature B, man, I needed those 2 golden capsules every single day over the weekend, doing 20 hours of broadcast. That is for me right there. Use my code right there, Big O, right there, Big O. And you get free shipping on your plant pollen. 30-day supply, 60-day supply, 90-day supply, 6 months supply. Free shipping, Big O. 27 amino acids and minerals, 28 antioxidants, man. Get out there and get it, baby. Go to naturebee.com, and it is made right in clean green New Zealand, man. No dudes in lab coats or anything. It's great for the kids. It's great for the entire family. So order Nature Bee. It boosts your immune system. That's my favorite part, by the way. It gave me the energy I need all day long, but my favorite part is boosting the immune system, trying to stay away from a cold every single day. I work with my voice. That's why I've been taking this for 20 years. My daughter takes it too. Wife takes it. naturebee.com, man. Check it out. And check out the full line of products too. Look, it helps in the digestion. It helps with your nails. It helps with your hair. Your hair will grow faster. Your nails will grow stronger and longer and faster, which is great for the ladies out there since you love growing your nails. naturebee.com, and tell them that Big O sent you. Get that energy, baby. Boost that immune system. You're going to love it. naturebee.com. All right, it is time now to make a selection with our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
Liquor split matchup of the night. I am going completely homer here today. I know that the Miami Heat are going in this game without Lowry, and I also know the Sixers are going to be without Joel Embiid. James Harden has been a guy notoriously that you can't count on. And yeah, I know everybody's talking about, are they going to give James Harden the Trae Young, the Trae Young treatment? And they probably will to a certain extent. It might be at a different level. And it'll be a great way of testing his, strip club conditioning, because, James Harden has great conditioning and making it rain, but I don't know about anything else. And so that'll be fun. And they will try to make his life impossible. And I think the Miami Heat are going to kick the Sixers' ass tonight, even without Lowry. And the Miami Heat usually is better when they know Lowry isn't going to be there and they're already prepping for it. But if you notice, when he does get dinged up in a game and he leaves in the middle of a game, it kind of gets him a little discombobulated. And they have to kind of find their way, or sometimes they don't find their way. But when he is out from the get-go and they're prepared from the get-go and Spo is preparing his team, they come in ready. And I think Miami will be ready tonight to lay the wood on the Sixers. And hopefully, here's the thing, hopefully they learned a lesson from the Hawks series, that they gave up a game that they shouldn't have given up to the Hawks, and they should have swept the Hawks. This is an opportunity you have now to not just win these 2 games and hand them 2 thorough defeats. So that way they go to Philadelphia thinking we've got no shot without, Embiid. And you got to put yourself in a position where you win those 2 and you go to Philadelphia to easily take one of two and a commanding 3-1 lead, or you finish them off and sweep them, because you saw what happened yesterday. The Celtics were at home. They have the home court advantage, and they lost it right away. So now you're hoping that this is a drag-out series, that those two beat each other up to 7 games. Miami will have another opportunity. This time, take advantage of it, man. Beat the Sixers' ass in 4. Play your game. Get rid of them. Tonight, I'm going to lay the 8 points. I think Miami wins this game and wins it comfortably. Wins it by 10 or 15 points. So I think if you lay the 8, you're going to win. That, my friends, is where you got to go now and get your Liquor Split app. iOS or Android. Tap that app. You know you love to tap that app. I love to tap that app. Don't you love to tap that app? We all love to tap that app. So get it, baby. Watching the playoffs tonight. Watching the Heat. Watching the Panthers tomorrow. Watching Inter Miami over the weekend. Watching the Marlins nightly. You forgot to order that beer. You forgot to order that little wine, a little whiskey, a little bourbon, a little rum, a little edge. You can do it all. Tap that app, iOS or Android. And, of course, Liquor Split. That is your Liquor Split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download then tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
Alrighty. Thank you all out there as always. Appreciate you. What do we got going on here? Market-wise, by the way, on crypto, Bitcoin is just under 39, 38.7. Been hovering the last couple of days into the 38, 39 area. See what happens later on this week. Does Robert Jones play center? No, I don't think he's known for center. More guard and then tackle are the two things. I don't think it's center, but you never know. You never know if they could try to make him one. I really would like to see him compete with the other guys at guard. Louis Beltran says, I really want to hear the pilot's opinion on the Miami circuit. The 2 long straights look good. I do not know about another part of it. F1, the perfect U.S. spot for F1, regardless of the local liking. Let me have here a minute. Let's see here. Regardless of the local liking, the race will have a huge impact on the city and a lot of spending. It'll be a fun event, man. We want to come back here for the F1 race here in Vegas next year. Drago says, F1 is the only car racing I watch. I get tired of NASCAR changing their cars and restricting their engines and slowing the cars down for younger drivers that can't drive over 200. Would you say that that's the case, Sean?
Yeah, but I also think it has to do with safety. I mean, they've had wrecks where drivers got killed.
Right.
Cars have flown into.
Into the stands. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that's right. You are right.
You do the cars go.
Yeah.
Damage when they crash.
Yeah. And sometimes the wind catches them and takes them up in the air. I mean, they are going fast as hell.
Well, they have done the flaps on the roof and stuff like that. So not as many flip overs, but
no.
If you hit it the right way, it does go.
It does go up. I know. That's the thing. It's crazy. Yeah. You also have to take care of the driver too. Safety has to be a part of all of this too. Listen, man. All of these men and women that get into that do certain sports, we know that there are risks. But just because there are risks doesn't mean that we should overlook those risks and allow them to put themselves in harm's way or even in death's way. So if we can avoid death, or if we can avoid serious injury, then yeah, man. And let's build those. What's that neck thing that they did after Earnhardt?
Hans device.
The what?
Hans device.
Right, the Hans device after Earnhardt. Then let's do it, man. The roll cages, everything, all the things that they've done over the years, the restrictor plates, everything that they've done. There's a reason. We're not on the salts of Utah, where you're on a straightaway where nobody's in sight and you can just let the car go at 500 miles an hour. You know what I mean? There's a difference there than what you're doing here. And so we don't want to put spectators at risk. We don't want to put drivers at risk. We want them to have, we want to have a race and we want them to have some fun and we want to enjoy it. But, there also comes to a point where we have to also we have to show some compassion and some humanity. We can't sit here like Roman gladiator days and we're all sitting in the stands watching the Roman gladiators die right in front of us because the guy's trying to beat a lion. It's like, really? Man versus lion. Okay, how's that one going to turn out more often than not? It's just, it gets to the point. So we cannot be just cave people. Okay? So we have to have restrictor plates. We have to come up with things to protect these drivers. It is what it is.
Well, sponsorship.
Yeah, and sponsorship, yeah. Yeah. I like NASCAR personally because I love the drama, the storylines that are involved, the personalities, the conflicts. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a soap opera in a way. That's what I like about NASCAR. At least, listen, I don't get into F1 nearly enough to know whether that exists in F1 or not. It doesn't seem like it, but NASCAR has this rich history of, rivalries and just personalities and clashing that you just don't get in any of the other ones. I used to be an Indy guy. I loved Indy racing and I gave up on it. Rarely watch it. I actually end up watching more F1 than Indy. Put it that way. But again, I guess to each his own. I hope the Dolphins add Carlos Dunlap. Doesn't hurt to add more pass rushers. I'd rather have him than Hicks. My dad knew Bobby Allison and Donnie Allison and their grandson. Nice. Isaiah says, Big O, what's your thoughts on Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel's relationship? That presser after the draft was so much more different than what we saw in Flores' era. I loved it, man. I just hope it works. I just want him to win, man. I just want him to win, and let's get past all of this BS, man. That's all I want. I want the Dolphins to win. And then that personality and that relationship will continue, and guys like Marcel and Joe Shad and all these guys will actually get to cover like human beings. It's pretty cool. Big O, you need to cover the Mint 400 the next time you go to Las Vegas. Fear and loathing in Vegas. What is the Mint 400? We met some nice folks yesterday about some off-roading racing, which, by the way, sounded really freaking cool. I like the way Big O takes guys to task.
It is an off-road race.
Oh, that what is?
The Mint 400. I wonder if that's the one they were talking about here.
Oh, okay. That we actually met a couple that they both race in off-track racing, and it sounded really, really cool. NASCAR is more American than any racing. Yeah, I don't know about American or what or whatever. I just enjoy NASCAR. That's all. That's all I can tell you. It's fun to watch NASCAR. Risks are an inherent part of everything in life, and hence so is the mitigating risk. Right, exactly. If we can keep people healthy so they can keep racing, I think that's a win-win. Can't call it stock car. There's nothing stock about the car. I like, let's see, the Mint 400 is a race that Johnny Depp cover in the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Oh, I see. Remember the Muddy Beer? I remember that. Yes. Now I know what you're talking about. Big O, I want Buffalo in Buffalo week 1. Well, we shall soon find out if the boys are up to snuff, because the Bills are the best team in the division, the best team probably in the conference, arguably the best team in the NFL. So, the Dolphins have a lot to deal with in their division. They have to deal with a monster. It's like watching the Panthers and the Lightning. You've got the stinking Lightning in your division. Got to take care of them. F1 is the pinnacle of motorsports worldwide, best of the best. I don't know if I would say that, man. I think they're all talented in their own right, whether they're Indy or NASCAR or F1. I think they're all incredibly talented. I would not do that. I think all those guys are freaks behind the wheel, and they can do things that you and I could only dream about behind a wheel. So I would not say. Is that right by me by saying that? Sean, you know more about racing than I do. I think they're all gifted, bro. Doesn't matter who they are.
I mean, they're all gifted in their own rights, but I think when you get behind the F1, you got the most money and the most tech and all that stuff behind them. So, I mean.
But I don't see you dealing in F1 traffic like you do in NASCAR. You understand?
Yeah, but all those cars are built the same.
They're what?
F1, the more money you have, the better you are.
No, I get the F1, but what I'm saying is that the challenge of driving in traffic is a little bit different than what I see in F1, where there's a lot of singular racing going on. It's almost side by side cars aren't the norm almost.
But all the cars are the same. That's why they go through inspection.
Yeah, I know. But don't you find them
side by side? So the drivers end up being the winner of the things. All the cars.
Yeah, you're almost racing against a clock than you are each other, almost.
No, but I mean the cars are built the same in NASCAR.
Right, I know. I get that.
The same front ends, the same.
I get that.
All that, so the drivers so it keeps the cars close, so that the drivers or the strategy has to figure out the win.
Right. I'm just saying it takes a lot of skill to be driving 180, 200, 210 miles an hour, and you're in traffic. I have a lot of respect for that, man. A ton of respect for that. 2, 3 wide, and you're oh man, there's just something about that. Did you watch Ford versus Ferrari? Yes, I did, actually. That was an entertaining movie. I like Leo Chanel, but I think Tyndall has more upside. Besides that, he's still so stiff. He scares me. He might get injured easier. It's the aerodynamics of the F1 car. It's ridiculous to watch them, how they turn. It's like they're going to crash just making a turn. Okay. All right. Flat nuts NASCAR uses to bring your car that brought off the showroom floor at a regular dealership. Drago, you are right. F1, it's a soap opera and the best engineering in the world. So F1 is also soap opera?
Yeah, but it's even worse because it's manufacturers against each other.
Oh, it's manufacturers. Oh, okay.
And drivers, and you got Ferrari teaming up against whatever.
But are they fighting right on the pit like they do in NASCAR?
There's a lot of I don't know if you saw the video.
What do they do? What do they do in F1? Do they throw grapes at each other?
No, man. There's a lot of there was a video that got released where one of the guys told to slow down so that his teammate or something, like they kind of cheated to win the title. Like a lot of that going on in F1.
Oh, so F1 there's so F1 is the bikes. It's the bicycling of auto racing, cheating.
No, it's just they keep everything on their.
It's the Tour de France of racing. Is that what it is? It's the Lance Armstrong of auto racing. Is that what you're telling me? The F1's a bunch of cheaters? Sean Stanley says F1 full of cheaters.
Yes, I did.
All cheaters. That's what
That's
what he says. They're all cheaters.
F1 is nothing but cheating.
There you go. That's the spy report now. F1 loaded with cheaters. Drivers, team, principal owners, etc. Everyone gets on the soap opera. I don't need to hear from an engineer. You know what I mean? What's Joe Gibbs going to do for me? He's 80 years old. No, let his kid fight. That'll bring more attention. Now, I like that better. I don't need to hear from the manufacturers. That's weak soap opera stuff. Give me the NASCAR boys.
Think about this. Think about Joe Gibbs calling down to Kyle Busch and saying, take out, slow down in front of this car. So
that'll never happen. Never happen.
Yeah, okay. Uh-oh, hams. The bots are back.
The bots are back. Crush the bots. Big O, not cheering, not cheating, improvising. Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
They're improvising.
F1 full of improvisers.
I got you. Okay. The Houston Astros were improvising. They weren't cheating. I got you. We're there. I think this is the most we've talked about auto racing on the show. Jesse M says, how close was Marino to getting traded to the Raiders, really? I think he was closer to getting traded to Pittsburgh or the Vikings, not the Raiders, my man. I think. Who really knows, dude? You know what I'm saying? I don't even think it even got that close because in the end, nobody on the Dolphins side ever said yes. So it might have been just an offer from Minnesota, Pittsburgh, or the Raiders, or anybody else. But yeah, Miami said, no, we're not trading. So maybe it never even got close. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's all about just, what's that called? The legend, right? It's just the legend of him possibly getting traded. But there is no singular proof that he was going to get traded. None. Just some talk and all that, but especially with the Wayne Huizenga years, because he shut down Jimmy right away. And that's why I think Jimmy kind of became an a-hole with Danny. And that's why, Dan had such a crap ending because his coach never helped him out. Oh, did Omar show up today? Yeah, Perfect You. He showed up. You got to rewind. Just rewind. Just keep rewinding. You'll find it. You'll eventually find it. Drone racing and battle bots fights getting better.
They are.
By the way, Jesse M., listen. You may not know about the history of basketball. I think you're the one that said that thing about Michael Sabian. But you were right about the drone racing stuff. I've enjoyed I've run into it. I don't go searching for it. But I have to say, okay, I'm the loser that has run into drone racing on television and I actually stopped to watch it. I'm actually amazed that these guys make these things fly as fast as they do, as quick as they are to fly through, the obstacle course that they put. I find it now. I am the guy that loved to build a model plane and try to make it take off and all that kind of stuff. So not that I was any good at that, but I'm just saying I kind of like that. So maybe I admire that. So there's a little part of me, my history, that was like, okay, I can admire the drone stuff. So I know it's growing. It's one of those, there's a drone racing league, I think it's called, right? I think it's called the DRL. There's even a league for it, so I know that it exists. But it's the drone racing, the battle, what is it? The battle bots. I don't watch any of that. But I will say I have watched the drone racing. And so I'm one of those losers. If you want to call me a loser, I'm fine with it. God says he loves the show. How about that? How about that? We have arrived. God loves the show. Yeah. Thank you, sir. You still took Bill too damn early. Still a little pissed at that. How did Omar show up today? I like it when Big O makes him nervous and takes him. Oh, dude, perfect cue. You got to rewind and see what I did to Omar today. Oh, man. Oh, did I put Omar in a corner? You got to rewind. Check it out. Perfect Q says most interviews incredibly boring, but Big O takes them to task and makes them uncomfortable when they can support their own opinion. When they can support their own opinion, keep it up, O. Wait till you see what I did to Omar today. Perfect Q. Boy, did I have him squirming today. Didn't Stephen Ross invent the money in DRL? Oh, invest money in DRL. I don't know. I have no idea. But you know what, dude? I think you're right. I think there was some story like that about him investing, and it might have been the Drone Racing League. You might be right. I think I read that. Huh?
2015, there's an article invested $1 million in the Drone Racing League.
Son of a bitch. In 2015, he invested in the Drone Racing League. That's a smart dude, bro. That's a smart dude. 7 years ago, he said, yeah, no, drone racing is going to be something. I mean, listen, it may not be Stephen Ross. He may have somebody under him that's in charge of his investments, and they are the forward thinkers and all that kind of stuff. I doubt Stephen Ross was cruising the channels or cruising around some park and said, are they racing drones? Hey, that might be no, I doubt it. You know, people at his level, they have people under them that work that help invest their money. So, yes. So I'm sure it's somebody that works under him that said, Mr. Ross, you might want to invest in this. What the hell is a drone? Well, Trump says that people fly drones. They fly in them. Remember that one? Anyway. What's it called? Ross dropped out of the bid for Formula One. It was always assumed that he'd drop out with the promise for a race in Miami. Well, HD, I don't know if that's true or not, but I love the little twist to it. While Printing says, haha, Ross figured it probably is easier to fix drone racing than NFL games. Oh, that was good. I love that one. That was good, While Printing. That was good. That was good. There you go. Oh, man. By the way, did you guys see Markieff Morris got fined $25,000? Okay, can I ask something? Like, you make mistakes all the time, right? I make mistakes all the time, right? I'm the first guy to admit any mistake I make. If I did something wrong, I'll say it. If I do something stupid, I'll tell you I did something stupid. I'm an idiot. Is there anything wrong with accountability? I'm just wondering. Is there something wrong in this world with accountability? Are we supposed to be looked at less because we're not perfect? Because I know, hell, man, I'm not even close to being perfect. I can't even dream of being perfect. I can't even dream of being Russell Wilson or Tim Tebow or any of those kind of dudes. Or Tua. I could never dream of even being those kind of people. So since I know I'm super imperfect and I know I'm going to screw up a lot, I'll tell you, yeah, no, I screwed up there. That was not good. So, Markieff Morris, my man, you get $25,000 for clearly holding a player back from getting back onto the court. And the man, instead of saying, this was my mistake. It wasn't a classy move on my part. I should have known better. That's not professional, the way I acted. No. Do you know what Markieff Morris says, ladies and gentlemen, after being fined for $25,000? He said, and by the way, it's for interfering with the live game play while on the bench in violation of league rules. So ahead of the Eastern Conference semifinals, from the Sun Sentinel article by Ira Winderman, he says, it was just like in the flow of the game, Morris said, attempting to break Hunter's fall. Next time, I'll just let him fall. I guess that's what it is, Morris said. I'll just get out of the way and let him fall. Even though I know Andre, too, he came with a lot of force, too. He hit me hard, but the next time, I just got to let him fall. I'll tell everybody, let him fall if they come to the bench, Morris said, about potentially winding up in a similar situation. I guess it is what it is. He says, when I looked at it, and then he jumped back, I was like, oh, they might call me. I told Coach, they might say I did it, but they find me for blinking my eyes nowadays. I don't know. Like, Markieff, do you know there's a camera, bro? Like multiple cameras? Do you know that we all see you holding his shirt back? Can you just, karma is going to continue to follow you, bro. And bad karma is going to continue to follow you. Because that's what you keep continuing to spread, bro. Bad karma. It's your fault that you missed most of this season, not Nikola Jokic. If you didn't take a dirty shot on Nikola Jokic, then he wouldn't have to retaliate with an even dirtier shot. But guess what? You deserved it because you didn't make a play on the ball. And that's what you should have said. Hey, while I don't appreciate what Jokic did, I don't blame him because I didn't make a play on the ball. I committed a dirty penalty. And if I was Nikola Jokic, I would have responded the same way because anger would have taken over. It's my fault that I put myself in this position and I have failed my team and I put myself in a tough spot. End of story. I respect you for taking responsibility for your actions. Instead, you've acted like it's Nikola Jokic's fault the entire time. And now it's the league's fault because they're fining you for everything. No, they're fining you because you continually have issues, because this has been your career. Not your season with the Heat, your career. Grow the hell up, Markieff Morris. Stop acting like a fucking 14-year-old. We're not stupid. You may think we're stupid, but we're not stupid. So stop treating us like we're stupid. We see what you did. Everyone sees what you did. You're only lying to yourself. But apparently nobody in the Heat organization has the balls to look you in the face and say, stop acting like a 14-year-old. Dude, do me a favor, Miami Heat. The second the season ends, dump his ass. I get it. They've only kept him around this long because they just don't have enough size on the team. And just in case, they may need his fouls or they may need 5-10 minutes from him. So I get that they're tolerating all of this ignorance. But Markieff Morris, bro, grow the hell up, dude. Somebody on the Heat team, tell him to grow up. Somebody in the Heat coaching staff, tell him to grow up. Somebody in the front office, tell him to grow up. Somebody in his family, tell him to grow up. It's embarrassing, dude. Grown-ass man that just continues to do childish shit and doesn't take any responsibility for it. Reminds me of Scottie Pippen constantly blaming Michael Jordan for his shortcomings. Man, that's this world, dude. That's this world. Let me blame everybody else for my problems. Samuel Rabina says, what's up, Big O? In town for Mother's Day. Going to be heading to support the Panthers live tomorrow. Nice. Nice. All right. Anyway, we got to thank all of you out there, as always, for tuning in and supporting Le Programme. We thank Ira Winderman, Alan Poupart, Marcel Louis Jacques for joining us as always. Appreciate you all. Tomorrow, we'll be in Vegas for a couple more days. Sean's headed back to Miami tonight. So tomorrow morning, we'll be back here doing our thing live from Las Vegas and having some fun. So I appreciate all of you out there. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Big O Show. Follow us on also on Instagram at Big O Radio Show. You can also reach out to us on email at bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. By the way, I don't know why, but we still have a couple of pairs of tickets left for boxing. So if you want to go to the boxing matches this Saturday, send it in right now to our email at bigoradioshow@yahoo.com or on Twitter DM or on Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere I'm on any of these platforms. You got to send your full name, email address, and phone number, and we will tell you if you won, and the tickets will be at will call. So we got a couple of pairs left for the boxing matches this Saturday at Hialeah Park. Looking forward to meeting some of you out there at Hialeah Park. We will be at Hialeah Park on Friday for the weigh-in. All right? So join us on Friday. You can go see a free event, the weigh-in. It's actually a pretty cool event. You get to meet the boxers right there and then. You might be able to even get an autograph from them, take a picture, whatever. But it's just a really what's it called? Casual like situation, because everybody's just hanging around. If you come up to Champions Sports Club, you'll be able to meet the boxers and check it out and meet us. Come on by. So we'll be out there on Friday. We'll be back in town on Thursday morning, ready to rock and roll. So we will be on the air Friday there from Hialeah Park, but we'll be out here for a couple of more days here doing a couple of things that we got to do here in Vegas. But I appreciate all of you out there as always. We will see you, as they say, we will see you tomorrow, same time and same place, same back channel, you all. And of course, be good. And don't do anything that I wouldn't do, which of course, I don't know, I guess doesn't leave for a lot, right? I guess that's what you would say. Doesn't leave for a lot. Anyway, we will all see you tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button before you get out. It is very important that you smash the like button. Y'all be good.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com.